they know.
We're live now.
Oh, okay.
Almost live. Now we're live. Hello, bigots. All you bigots and bigorettes in the chat. How's everybody doing? We got You Did It Wrong and Tommy Kelly here. You Did It Wrong has a channel on YouTube. Tommy Kelly has a channel as well. I put Tofu Tommy in the name because that's his former nomenclature. So we've got the artist formerly known as Tofu Tommy, now just known as Tommy. And You Did It Wrong, Skye. What is that?
Well,
Wait, you going back to vegan, Tommy? What's up with that, man? You got the vegan,
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you anything. What I'm actually doing is I'm undercover. I'm actually trying to infiltrate everything. I'm going to get back to vegan. I'm going to blame it on the fish and the eggs, like Michelle Lowe said.
Dude, we're live now. This isn't the practice run anymore, man. We're actually live. I'll edit that out later. Don't worry, we'll edit that out later on. So, Tommy, you've been maybe 2 months out or a month and a half since the last time we did a stream. How you been, man?
Yeah, around about 2 months ago, yeah.
It's nice to have you back. And Skye, aka D, You Did It Wrong. You look so different from the avatar. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's like a deep fake or something. This is real.
yeah, this is Avatar number 2, so still not the real me, but
There you go.
it's what you guys get.
Yeah, you can never tell if they're a replicant or not. So we're talking about doing it wrong today. We're talking about being never really vegan. We got 2 never really vegans. Tommy Kelly was never really vegan for... How long were you vegan again, man?
Just coming up in 4 years, about 3 years and 10 months.
Dang. And... Well, congratulations. You're looking good, dude. I mean, I don't want to pull up any of the old pictures. We had a bunch of pictures on the last stream we did, and we saw the comparison pics between you before and after, and obviously you're doing a lot better, man.
Doing great, yeah. Feeling probably the best I've done in years, so long may it continue.
But that's just anecdote, right?
That's just anecdote, yeah.
Do you have a study? Do you have a study that could prove that you feel good, better than ever?
I don't know, yeah. But like I say, when it fails me, I'm just going to blame the fish and the eggs anyway, so...
Okay. All right. So Skye he did her face reveal. Was that like 1 week or 2 weeks ago? How long was that?
Last week.
Last week?
Yeah, last week, I think.
This has been a dense week. But the time's flying, but not flying. What's it been like? I mean, you revealed your face. You showed that you're not actually a cartoon with a fake, deep fake voice. And how has the response been from your audience?
My audience have been super supportive. The vegans have been calling me out on being hideous and ugly, as they do. And my audience have been pretty cool. They've been responding with like, no one cares, and you guys are jealous and stuff. So I think I'm doing good.
Nice. Well, I mean, you could just tell them that's just anecdote when they.
Yeah,
that's
true.
just an anecdote. It's working.
You want to be the big man, the big daddy.
There we go. So we got Keto Miner wants to be the big man and the big daddy. I don't think you guys are. You guys don't hear the audio from the notifications, but the audience hears them. So that's good. Keto Miner sends 5.49 in euros. Says, it's been a long time. I follow you bigots, and it's the first time I catch you live from here, Paris, France. Right on. Keto Miner, thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate that. You guys, the best way to support the streams is via the Streamlabs link. Let me throw that link in the chat right now. Thank you. Really appreciate that. We got a lot to talk about today, though. We got you guys feel free to just jump in. Just jibber jabber about whatever you guys want. If you got any topics you want to hit on, but we have some videos we can watch. I know there's a lot of critique videos of Tommy. I don't know if there's any of You Did It Wrong. I've seen
There will be.
No, there'll be plenty. I dare say.
Tommy's been getting slammed, dude. Like, how does it feel to get just dismantled like that?
Nothing unusual, is it? It's just like, if they're talking about me, they're not talking about somebody else, so I'm fine with that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's always funny to see the response when somebody says they're no longer vegan and you were a vegan YouTuber. It seems like the cult gets a little bit upset. Like, what's it been like the last few weeks for you, man? I know we talked a little bit via DM about. I've seen some of the comments on your channel and some of the video responses, but I can't keep up with all this. Like, what is there anything that stuck out that you remember? Anything particularly interesting that you've seen last few weeks?
Yeah, well, I've had a few death threats. I got one actually messaging me saying, at first they actually asked me, do Barlinnie prison in Scotland serve vegan meals? And I thought they were just trolling, and I said, oh, I don't know. I says, mate, I'm the wrong person to ask that. And they says, look, are you getting wide with me? They were going to put a Stanley knife across my throat. Ended up, they were getting constant emails back and forth with them. They had found out where I stayed. They were threatening to slash my throat and things like that. So I had to like kind of escalate it for there. But over the past couple of months, I've been removed from my eating disorder position that I was doing for a volunteer work, because people were obviously emailing back and forward to the eating disorder service saying that I was an untrustworthy person, that I was a liar, a fake. And basically what actually happened was I had to be moved back to my ambassador role instead of my eating disorder support, because it was just getting too much.
Are you kidding? So they tried to attack your work that you do helping people with eating disorders, which is something you've done for years now, right? And then
Yeah.
part of leaving veganism was this recovery process, it seems, right? I mean, it's, what the hell? I'm kind of like speechless about that. I'm kind of shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked, not shocked.
Well, I've actually shown Skye. She's probably the only one that's really seen it, apart out with like my wife and things like that. I've showed her the emails and everything and what was going on, and basically I had to get removed because of that. So I'm fine with that. I obviously do a lot of eating disorder support on my own anyway. I do recovery coaching with a lot of people. So, but I felt it was quite a low thing to obviously go and attack that. But they've even been doing things like as well. They were trying to obviously trigger me back into an eating disorder. We're talking about things about my weight, as if that's ever been an issue for me, because I don't actually suffer with that type of eating disorder. My eating disorder has always been based on grief and things like that. So when they found out that, they then started to take it a different road. They started stealing photos from my Facebook of pictures of my mother, because they knew that that was the reason why my eating disorder started. And they were basically saying that, trying to say that the article that I did on your Facebook page, that photo was actually photoshopped. And then they were posting pictures of my mum saying, oh, I can Photoshop pictures as well. Here's one of your mum. How do you feel about this? So it was basically just to elicit feelings and emotions in me and trigger me back, basically, which is not going to happen.
I mean, that's such an intense level of harassment. Like we were joking behind the scenes, like, oh, this will be a fun stream. It's been so intense and heavy lately. But all right, now we're back. We're live now. Hey guys, sorry about that.
No worries.
Dude, that's freaking insane. So, and these are like profiles that you know, or are these coming as new anonymous profiles that are being made?
I would just say that they're probably just new profiles that's been made. So I don't know who actually the people are, but I would put two and two together and come up with four that it's probably because of the vegan situation, I would reckon, because I've heard quite a few things that Michelle Lowe's get emails from people that have been speaking in the background. So I guess that's the situation, but I can't say that for certain.
Yeah. Wow. So you just have no idea where this is coming from. You're not really sure like who it is, but it's a similar tactic. Are you getting that same tactic, this like trying to mess with you about the eating disorder past stuff? Is that coming from a lot of different profiles?
Yeah,
multiple.
Exactly. It's coming from all places, and that's basically what I think they're trying to do, because they probably want to do that to validate that I was doing it wrong all along, which has never been the case. Like, I've been really eating well for a good long time. It's just now that really eating animal foods has really took my recovery to the next level.
Yes. Yeah.
And they always keep saying that I blamed my eating disorder on veganism. I never ever once said that. What I actually said was, I've been open about my past for years and years, but what I actually said was that it was derailing my recovery. It was stopping me gaining weight, because I was gaining weight for a good long time, and then things just started to go downhill. I was suffering all the health issues like I'd spoke about previously before on the channel.
So a little buffering issue, but we're back. I'm not sure what's going on here. All right, we're good. So, dude, I mean, again, shocking. Like, it's shocking, but it's actually not shocking at all, considering how just how vegan YouTubers have behaved around you, right? I mean, we had these videos that were being made by, you mentioned Michelle Lowe, right? And she kept, oh, you're being gaslighted. They're gaslighting you. You're gaslighted, Tommy. They're being gaslighted. But here you have seemingly people that may even be in her audience. Who knows? I'm not like trying to blame her, but you've got people who basically weaponize these exact tactics that she's discussing against you to try to make you question your sanity, make you question your health, make you question your. I mean, so do they say like, oh, you're looking fat or something like that? They try to make you.
Yeah, that's originally what they went for at the start, but realizing that that wasn't a trigger to me,
Yeah.
I just laughed back at them. So they took the different route by going after what they knew actually caused my eating disorder, which was my mother. And then they started attacking my wife. My wife's in the chat at the moment. I think she can probably talk about that, but they've been going after my wife, death threats to my wife, things like that. It's just been absolutely crazy.
Dude, that's madness. So I'm gonna pull up some of these videos that people have made about you. Maybe we can just watch one or two of them at some point in the stream.
Absolutely.
But dude, yeah,
I just want to throw in as well that they're doing this out of compassion for the animals. Like at some point you've got to ditch that label, because there's no way anyone could pretend that, like outside of their crappy little bubble, like the average normal person hearing that someone recovering from eating disorder is being attacked out of compassion for animals, it's not normal.
Oh, and it's not just attacking somebody that recovered from an eating disorder and has been incredibly transparent and honest about this entire process the whole time. They're not just attacking that person. They're trying to get that person to relapse into an eating disorder, but they're so stupid they don't understand that he sees what they're doing because they're pathetic and numb to reality, so they don't understand that he sees through this shit. I mean, it's this is like next level.
Most of the vegans in real life that I know, like, I mean, I've got a good few friends that are still vegan. They support me 100%. They say that I've done the right thing for my health. But I think the vegans outside of activism and YouTube, they're totally different to the YouTubers and things like that. I think you just find that it brings out the most militant side of people on YouTube, obviously for views and things like that as well. But I think it's a deep-seated desire to like push things and push their agenda as well. So,
yeah. I'd say the friends I know as well with me, like they were relieved to just see me get better, the vegan friends, because they see you so ill and then they see you getting better, and a normal reaction to your friend getting better is, oh, thank God. But yeah, absolutely. There's that other, I wouldn't even go far as to say it's an agenda. I'd say it's a bunch of triggered little vegans, the cultist ones, not the normal ones, the cultist side of it, who want to feel better about themselves and want to always be right. So they'll do what they can to sleep at night and remain in that little bubble and not have it poked or interfered with. So that's what it's been, I think, partly.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Now, have you seen, have they tried to mess with you in similar ways lately? I mean, and by they, I just mean, we're talking about certain people in your audience. It's not like they might not be the same people, right? But it's funny because they come with the same tropes, right? Even though it's not the same avatar profile or even person, likely. They come with the same talking points, so it's like you're talking to bots, right? It's like you feel like you were never really vegan. Veganism's about the animals. Veganism's not about health. It's like it's like a robot you're talking to. That's what's so weird about it. It's like it's a decentralized thing, but they have a centralized message, and the message itself it's very I don't know. It's getting darker and darker. I guess people are just pent up too. Like how many people are? You mentioned you're on like full lockdown right now in London, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's easing up and no one gives two craps about lockdown anymore, but we're meant to be in some kind of lockdown. It's just not as visible right now.
Yeah, no, I think everybody everywhere is pent up. They're being given all these conflicting messages. People are they're ready. They're in this state where they're just ready to be radicalized and lit on fire, right? Everybody's got a little tinderbox in their home right now. That sucks. It sucks to see them lashing out at you.
The one thing I would say as well, what I really noticed about during lockdown was you used to go to the supermarkets and all the plant-based things were still sitting in the supermarket shelves, yet all the meat and everything was
going up, and the only aisle that seemed quite busy at my local anyway was the meat.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, I buffered there for a second. The audience might have had a little cutout, but I think it's weird. You guys didn't get cut off, but I did. It must be my internet connection. Yeah, I've seen a lot of pictures of the Beyond sausages, like the limp Beyond sausages sitting there on the shelf, looking like Dr. Gregor's playthings. There's Dr. Gregor right there. Does this picture make you guys want to go back to veganism?
It's very fitting coming up.
Does this gift help you guys to want to go back? So this gift and the gaslighting techniques from these vegan nutcases in the comment section, does that make you want to go back to veganism?
Well, as tempting as it sounds, I haven't gone back yet. So
No.
For the animals.
I do wonder how many chickens' lives they've saved by doing that, though. Like, if we could get a nice little count on how many chickens they've saved just by harassing Tommy, you know?
By trying to get Tommy to relapse with an eating disorder.
Yeah, like, how much has that done for veganism? I'd like an actual study.
I want to, like, what would be really nice is when everything is so transparent, when everybody's got Neuralink and we just, everything is completely, all data is on blockchain, so you can just crawl it. We'll be able to go back and we'll be able to look at people's vital signs while they're actually typing this demonic shit. You know, typing this like, hey, Tommy Kelly, you used to have an eating disorder. You're looking kind of fat, man. Did you gain 20 pounds? Maybe you should go back to eating disorder. Like, you'll be able to see what level of testosterone and estrogen. You'll be able to see the amount of oxytocin, be able to see the adrenaline and blockchain. Thanks to the Bill Gates.
My reply to the one that said I was fat, I just looked at them and I says, look, I'm about 20 kilograms heavier than you. I suggest you go away and gain some weight yourself and then come back and tell me that.
Isn't it funny, like the projections that happen a lot? You get, I mean, I'm not even like an ex-vegan, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really even talk about that much. I did it wrong and I was never really vegan, right? I'll admit I was never really vegan. I did it wrong. But they still are trying. They love to try and say like, oh, you're bald man bad, and just the same repetitive insults of, you know, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're bald. It's like, I know those things. It's okay. Except today I'm not bald enough for you guys. I gotta cut this off because I don't want to take away your vegan's favorite insults.
You're doing baldness wrong today.
I can't even do it. I can't even do baldness wrong. Shit.
I'm just a wee bit there.
Man, I'm amazed at like at the onslaught that Tommy dealt with, and I don't know. It seemed like I saw you responding to a lot of it too. What's up with that? You give people responses, like the bad ones. You give responses sometimes.
Most of them I would just ignore, but I feel that some of them, when they try to like slander me, I feel that I've got to really kind of respond and kind of settle the situation with that, because quite a lot of them, especially those vegan guys, they kind of went a bit hard on me, but that's fine. Like, he totally glossed over everything about me. He actually said that he deleted me from Facebook, but he didn't actually say that he deleted one of the people that he was supposedly friends with, who was still vegan. He deleted her because her son's got autism and she was trying to message him to ask if he would get her on the stream to talk about her son not having been able to be vegan because he's got sensory problems and things like that. So he deleted her for that exact same reason, but then he's talking about compassion and things like that. So I think it's really, really hypocritical.
So you guys both work with eating disorders, right? Like, you guys both help counsel people and help people recover from eating disorders. Do you guys ever met each other, like outside of just YouTube stuff right now?
No.
Never.
It's funny because you guys have such a similar journey. You both have YouTube channels, both have funny accents. You're both non-essential crack-ass white folk. So, man, I'm still dumbfounded by what Tommy told me. Like, I can't believe how far some of these people go in these comments. But we should, there's a really good video, and people have been telling me to watch this, and this fits in so well with the topic today. And this is a video about how to spot a future ex-vegan. Let's see. I gotta find the title. Future ex-vegan.
I can guarantee what they're going to say before it even starts. They're going to say, you drink piss, you restrict foods, you over-exercise.
Yeah. You over-exercise, you don't.
You're off a diet.
Yeah, you care about, like, if you care about health at all, right? If you care if health is even on your radar, you even talk about
the drinking pee thing is so satirical in itself that always cracks me up. I can't even keep a straight face when people say you drank pee. It's just hilarious. So
and they say it like it's a meme to them in their little echo chamber. they'd think that it's like a ponage. They're like, yes, like the animal's redeemed. Every time somebody slanders Tim Sheep's name, like 20 chickens get resurrected. 20 little petunias get fucking resurrected. Their feathers are all puffed out. They're all like electrified, just flying up into the air. Thank you, vegans. They're cartoons, of course. Everything in these people's world is a freaking cartoon. All right, here we go. I got that lifting vegan logic. Not that video. That's another fan favorite here.
Dr. Greg looks really happy there, though.
Dude, that video. I don't know if did you guys see this one? This is Dr. Greger and
You see that one?
interviewed Dr. Michael Greger how to improve your sex life with a whole foods plant-based diet.
Wow.
Really?
Dude, maybe we should just watch some of this one because we gotta lighten the mood. We started out heavy. We started out with a bang. We need a nice icebreaker here. Let's get Dr. Greger. Dr. Greger likes to break that ice. He breaks this lady's ice. All right. Here we go. This is next level too. All right, now I gotta change. I just gotta come over here and change the audio for you guys. All right, everybody in the chat, what's up, guys? We haven't really talked much to the chat. There's not much banter with the chat, but appreciate the support, you guys. There's a Streamlabs link in the chat right now. If you want us to read your comments or questions on air, you can throw those up in the Streamlabs or via the YouTube. We still are semi-monetized on YouTube. We can still accept super chats, but the Streamlabs is the best link. We got our two friends over here from the UK coming at you from Ecuador. I got my my AOL connection is all right now. We'll see if it continues. Here we go.
Stream's doing it wrong as well, I think.
Looks like it, yeah.
Not enough flax seeds.
And he is the founder of nutritionfacts.org. He's also the best-selling author of How Not to Die, How Not to Diet, and more recently, How to Survive a Pandemic. In this interview, I ask lots of questions about sexuality and if we can improve our sex lives with a whole foods, plant-based diet. Check it out.
What's up with... All right. I'll let this keep going because...
Okay, we are recording now. So
All right, great.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. It's been this has been on my to-do list for some time, actually, to speak to you. So I had the impulse to do it a few months ago, and I'm so glad it's today. And usually I'm an influencer, and I make content about sexuality. I describe myself as an orgasm activist, but I'm also vegan. I've been plant-based most of my life, and I'm very passionate about it. But my audience is not vegan, so sometimes I put some vegan content out, and they're like, "Oh, you have to be very careful, you know." So I really wanted to make a video or make some content about sexual benefits of a plant-based, whole foods, plant-based diet, because I believe it's orgasmic, but is it really? So I really wanted to know, because obviously there are so many other health benefits, so it must affect sexuality somehow. So I've got a series of questions going from seduction to sex to just the whole process, really. So
Do it.
okay. So starting off, I wanted to know, starting off with the
Dr. Gray.
seduction phase, does diet influence our pheromones?
There haven't been any studies done on diet and pheromones, but there has been a lot of studies done on the effect of diet on skin coloration. And so this is regardless of whether you Caucasian.
Has he just changed the subject?
Thinking, yeah.
It's the first question and he changes the subject.
I love how the skin coloration thing. Can you guess what he's going to say next? We already watched this clip the other day.
Jaundiced? Probably that you're jaundiced if you don't eat a plant-based diet, I'm going to guess.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, just looking at this video, I'm seeing some very beautiful glowing skin. There is a certain skin tone that's very prominent in this video. Let's see where he goes with this, I guess. And change the audio back over for you guys.
Can we start a conspiracy theory, by the way? Sorry, I think Tristan literally just changed your audio and I've butted in. Yeah, like a conspiracy theory that Dr. Greger started the pandemic, because that book was ready and it got released pretty quickly. And I feel like we could turn that into a conspiracy.
I've still got that book in here somewhere as well too.
Do you?
I was trying to find it there. I was saying, where is that book? It's down here somewhere, but
Asian skin or African skin, the carotenoids in fruits and vegetables, particularly brightly colored fruits and vegetables, gets deposited in your skin from the inside out and gives people this kind of golden glow, which is associated with health. So just as a peacock can attract the peahen with their amazing coloration, so can eating some fruits and vegetables. And so you actually set people down in front of identical pictures that have been tweaked to the differences in colors you'd get from eating fruits and vegetables for a couple of weeks. They actually consistently choose as more sexually attractive, and this happens for both men and women, heterosexuals, homosexuals, any kind of skin tone. When you tweak it for that more carotenoids, that kind of there's this little golden glowish that is associated with sexual attraction in the human beings, and you say, well, is it just getting people more tanned? No, it's actually different, and so it's more important to have carotenoids in your skin than actually have the extra melanin in your skin in terms of getting tan for people with lighter skin.
So his experiment is putting some Snapchat filter on people, and if people are like, yeah, that's hot, that's his experiment.
Yes. No, but it's not. He puts a vegan Snapchat. It's like this is a super high-tech scientific filter, and the science has figured out that the carotenoids change your skin in just this specific way. So all you have to do is put this filter on, and that simulates exactly what it's like to have that sexy-ass vegan glow like Dr. Gregor and his orgasm activist hostess.
It looks very green for some reason. I don't know what it is. A bit like hench herbivore. The green complexion. It's
just an anecdote.
I'm finding it hard to recognize him because he's not on a treadmill. Like, it took me a while to realize that was him.
Guys,
Coming alive
you
from
want
my
to be
treadmill.
The big daddy.
Yeah. I miss the treadmill. I don't know. I really do miss it. I think with the treadmill, it adds like even extra carotenoids. Like they're thinking about adding a treadmill filter to TikTok, but they don't want to do it because there could be there could be a lot of sexual assaults that could happen because you look so good. Like, people will mistake you for Dr. Gregor, and then like they'll swipe right on Tinder or whatever, and it could lead to really, really bad results in dating apps. So they can't do it.
By the way, I think my dog's getting a wee bit randy in the background. A lot of people are saying it. He's humping my pillows and things like that.
Well, it
must be rubbing off on him.
It's the carotenoids. The carotenoids of Dr. Gregor. It's the golden vegan glow from the screen off Dr. Gregor has your dog humping pillows. That's amazing.
Encapsulated.
Yes. See, Dr. Greg is in lockdown to fight all the women off. That's why he's in lockdown.
He's in lockdown to save his marriage because these women, he's got orgasm activists. I mean, this woman, she's an orgasm activist. Like, what is that? Have you guys ever met one of those?
Never heard of one.
Never had the pleasure.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if she does like babysitting or anything like that. She's probably like a preschool teacher or some shit. Like, what's up with these vegan people? And they're like, I'm just like really into Kundalini. It's like, but not like the kind of Kundalini that you know about. Like we go really deep in our Kundalini. It's like, what's up with this energy? It's like, you know, this chick is super into yoga, right? Like she has to be so into yoga. I'm an orgasm activist. It's like, I've got like 50 poses that I can do, and they can just induce orgasms, like at a distance. I can induce orgasms in all of my previous sexual partners from a distance with certain yoga poses. It's like
the scary thing is she's probably got a good 4 or 5 legit, like, that help her. So, yeah.
I wonder how many orgasms has she needs an orgasm counter for when Dr. Gregor's talking. And it's like, ding! See your little eye twitch, and it's like, ding! Okay, there's one, ding!
She might be having one right now in this pause. You never know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this might be the 3rd or 4th. So there's 25 minutes of this in this video. It doesn't get. I think the beginning is the funniest part. I think I watched like 10 minutes on a stream the other day. But yeah, Dr. Michael Greger, thank you for lightening our load a little bit there. There's some other recent Dr. Greger videos too. Maybe we should. We got Plant-Based News. We've got a Dr. Greger video. 30-minute Q&A is time stamped. No timestamps.
There's a pure ton of Miley Cyrus videos. That's for certain.
We should watch one of those, huh? We should go for a Miley Cyrus one. Never really vegan. Miley Cyrus. Are we frozen?
No.
Cool.
Oh,
I just like this image of Dr. Greger a lot because this gives you kind of a visual representation of what veganism can do for you. Like what this can, that golden glow, the green shirt, and the green glow as well from the shirt. Yeah, let's listen to this one. It's only 2 minutes. We'll see what this one has to offer, and then we'll check out some of these other ones. I've got the lifting vegan logic one queued up too for the bigots in the chat. Let me come over here. I got some super chats though. First, let me read some of these. Keto Miner, already read that. Arius Augusta says criticizing Dr. G is anti-Semitic. Shut it down. Speaking of skin, Tommy looks great. Skin is glowing. Great to see. He thinks you look good, Tommy. He says you look. I don't know. He might be trying to. He might be nagging you though. What do you think? You can never tell with these vegans.
Could
You
be.
can never tell. He says you look good. I agree. Tommy looks great. All right, let's come back to here to Dr. Greger. All right, you guys want more of these streams? You guys want more of these streams? Send them super chats. Support the stream via the Streamlabs link. We get no love from YouTube. And if you want to get notified about future streams, there's a link in the description below. Click that link. You can get notified before the future streams. All right, so we got Dr. Greger here. Got to change the audio real quick. Here we go. Oh, we're going to get ads.
Having higher levels. So, having said that, vitamin D deficiency is rampant. Is rampant. Even in, the probably the shining example of this is there was a study of skateboarding teens in Hawaii.
Oh.
Right, and you just imagine them shirtless all day.
Right.
And even they had these high rates.
Why is that?
All day. Skateboarding teens. Of skateboarding teens.
Yeah, I was thinking that was a bit weird.
Right,
like,
just
speak for yourself when you say you imagine skateboarding teens shirtless all day. Not on my behalf.
I think we found a new GIF to put as a super chat.
Tristan.
Oh, here we go. There we go. Now you can hear me. I think I found a new GIF that we can put as the one of the super chat notifications right there.
That's a winner, definitely.
We start at the we'll start here
in Hawaii.
Wait, right there.
Skateboarding teens in Hawaii. Right, and you just imagine them shirtless all day.
Right.
It's so animated when he says it.
Man, Dr. Greger, chill, dude. Chill, buddy. All right, we got to finish that. Let's see where he goes with that. I guess that first 10 seconds is kind of worth all of it. I got to remember this video. Oops, lost it. There it is.
Right.
And even they had these high rates.
Why is that?
Well, it's because we evolved running around naked in equatorial Africa, being baked in the sun all day long. And so if you want to know what normal vitamin D levels are, you measure people who work outside all day long. I mean, that's kind of a natural level of vitamin D.
Uh-huh.
And so we were never meant to have these winters and inside and wear clothes and all these things that cut down on our natural vitamin D production. And so for people that don't get sufficient midday sun, particularly those with darker skins, particularly those who are older, particularly those with more body fat, may need to supplement with vitamin D. And so I would recommend 2,000 international units of vitamin D3 a day for those who get insufficient sun. That's what I do because I'm inside all day. I got my D levels tested once before I supplemented, and I had the D levels of an institutionalized elder. Like these people who are like in nursing homes and institutionalized elder. Tested once. I got my D levels tested once before I supplemented, and I had the D levels of an institutionalized elder. Like these.
Wow.
Can't hear you, Tristan.
Yeah, no, I was coming back. I was waiting for you guys' reaction on that one.
No worries.
That's something to brag about, definitely.
What we need, we need the clip. It goes from the clip of. Well, we have to do like live streams where you get in Final Cut and you chop it up live and you have the audience interaction. But you have the clip of skateboarding teens. Here, we'll see if I can find the skateboarding teens one. You do this.
Hawaii.
Wait.
Right. In Hawaii. There was a study of skateboarding teens in Hawaii. Right, and you just imagine them shirtless all day. Tested once inside all day. I got my D levels tested once before I supplemented, and I had the D levels of an institutionalized elder. Like these.
I don't know. There could be some really good mashups done with those two clips right there. I know we have some very artistically inclined and autistically inclined bigots in the chat who could have fun with that one. So yeah, the vitamin D. It's just so funny how these things get rationalized over and over again, right? And you hear it a lot. It becomes, you get like jaded to it almost, just like a lot of people are deficient in vitamin B12. The non-vegans, vegans, But it's like a lot of coping mechanisms with these vegan docs lately.
They seem to be all fighting with one another. Recently, they've not been able to agree on how much B12 you should be taking. There are things like obviously the heart disease and things like that. That's an absolute joke.
Right, or what form of B12?
Yeah.
Methylcobalamin, I think.
They used to recommend cyanocobalamin, but then they changed it to methylcobalamin because they realized that cyanocobalamin has very low absorption rate. I could be remembering incorrectly, but they're constantly augmenting it. And then with omega-3s as well, right? They know that their omega-3 fatty acids are essential, but then they're having to reconcile with the toxicity of the omega-3 supplements that they've been recommending. And didn't Gregor backtrack on recommending like omega-3 supplements? Do you guys pay attention to that at all?
That's right. I remember something like that.
I don't know, but I think that shows some people could genuinely have just done it wrong because they followed the advice. Like, if anything, it just shows that because the advice keeps changing.
That's it, but it seems to me that for like the B12 and things like that, the issue is what doctor do you believe? Because they're all saying different amounts, so it's just your luck what doctor you follow that maybe you'll get it right.
Yeah. Right. Well, Skye, you brought up such an important point. Here, I got to pull Dr. Gregor off. Your dog he's about to. Here, I'll go back to Rich Roll so your dog can stop humping the bed behind him. I think that you could. Maybe the tech is so good now, and my internet is so good that he might be able to smell the pheromones of Dr. Gregor through the stream.
I believe that's probably that.
He feels it.
Sounds likely.
He just feels the presence. Like when there's the resonance of his voice, it's still in your room. It's like echoing and. Yeah, he can't help himself. But everyone was doing it wrong because the advice changes every other day, right? So everyone was doing it wrong a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. All right, let's see how he finishes this one off. Actually, no, let's move on. I'm sick of Dr. Gregor. Look at Rich Roll though. Rich Roll doesn't look so bad for a vegan. He looks all right. How old is he?
Good.
Let's see. Whoa. Smeagol, dude. What is up with the Dr. Gregor energy? All right, I have to finish this video now from this screenshot that I've got right here. You gotta love that Dr. Gregor Gollum energy.
Never got outside. That was me in front of my laptop. Or
Mr. Nutrition.
Stuck in an airplane. Yeah. Right. I mean, I just never got outside. I got work to do. I got a book to write. What do you mean? And so, right. So in fact, 2000 was enough for me. So 2000 would get most people from the general level up to optimal level.
Right.
But for me, who got no sun, I had to take even more.
So a couple questions on that. It's not about mega dosing. It's about just making sure that you're not deficient. But I think it's probably safe to presume that there's a good chance you are deficient because so many people are, short of getting a blood test to determine that. If you are depleted or deficient, how long does it take to restore, that balance? Does that happen quickly or does it take time?
In fact, so rapidly that you can actually randomize people with infection to vitamin D while they have the infection and improve disease outcomes. And so
Well, that's good
you
news.
increase their levels so literally within the days, your immune system's like, come on, people, we need some vitamin D right now.
Right.
So very rapidly were you able to improve.
Okay. There you go. So nothing to worry about. You guys can't hear me yet. You'll be able to hear me in a second, so I'll just keep babbling. Absolutely nothing to worry about. It's all good. You just can take a little bit in a supplement, and you'll be fine. Nothing to worry about ever. Don't think about it anymore. Dr. Greger exuberantly has proclaimed that just a few micrograms of that vitamin D, and you'll be good.
I really try really hard not to ever judge anyone on looks, but come on. Like, I really hope he's okay. He doesn't look well to me.
I was actually quite shocked when I found out his age, because I always believed he was probably in the 60s actually, but
insufficient sun.
Yeah, I thought he was way older. So I don't mean to sound mean. I really hope he sees a doctor, because
I know what you guys are doing. You guys both want Dr. Greger's vitamin D, and you're trying to nag him. You're doing what the vegans do. You're like, oh no, he's not so hot. Like, he's lame. I don't like the way he wears his shirt. Oh, like his muscles, they have this like weird, like ripply way that they move, and he's just like, oh, I know what you guys are doing. It's okay.
I'm going to let you in on a wee secret. He's actually my wife's boyfriend.
He's all our wife's boyfriend. There we go.
I get kicked out at the weekends while he's in, so.
He is married with kids, right? I think.
I don't think Greger's got. I'm not sure if he's got children. I'm not really sure about. I remember hearing we did a stream like 2 years ago, and maybe a year ago or two. I don't know. It seems like so long ago. Brian Rose of London Real interviewed him, and he said that he divorced because he was working so hard on his book. He was just booking it, and it couldn't. He was working too hard. He was too hard of a worker, and that's why his marriage fell apart. He was too good, basically.
No comment.
All right, where's Lifting Vegan Logic? We got to find that Lifting Vegan Logic video. This one has been requested many times. Too many times.
I've tried watching a few of that Vegan Lifting Logic's videos, but he seems to talk about like a million miles an hour. It's like trying to keep up.
Says Tommy Kelly. Tommy Kelly with his thick Scottish accent and his rapid fire brain saying that this guy talks too fast. Somebody from Tommy, like somebody's gonna be offended by that. Like, there's always make a joke with Tommy.
All right, guys. So this video is going to be the video.
Sorry, the audience heard that, but you guys didn't. Something happened where when we were watching the old videos of Tommy when he was vegan, and someone came and commented on that video. They were like, "You're so mean. Like, why would you do that to him? You were mocking him and making him watch the old footage of him being a vegan." Like, they were so offended, like I was torturing you or something by us.
Yeah, and it was actually me that sent you the video in the first place.
That's what I thought was so funny. It's like, dude, Tommy sent the video. I pulled it up, and like I don't know. I guess you were blushing, and you were just like, oh man, this is bad. You thought it was hilarious, and you thought it was all cringy. And I don't know. Maybe they had a memory of when they were embarrassed at some point, and they were like, that.
Can't help but cringe at that.
Yeah. So, all right. So they sent me, there it is. This one was funny. I didn't watch this whole thing, though. It says I watched the whole thing. That's fine. I wish it wouldn't. I had it kind of time-stamped because I stopped at the best part.
Here it goes.
We'll watch from the beginning. All right. So it's a pretty telling video. This video, this represents the vegan cult mindset very well. I think you guys will enjoy this one.
I'm not vegan anymore, as you can probably tell by the title of this video.
Today I am going to share with you why I am no longer following a vegan diet.
My life as a vegan was discovery of self-love, or deeper self-love, and ironically that self-love has led me for this time out of veganism.
The doctors recommended me that I start to include some animal protein, And that's what I did.
And the journey has just begun.
Hey, what is up guys? So today I'm going to be doing another collab, and this time it is with Slightly Crazy Vegan. So if you haven't heard of her, please go check her out. Please go subscribe to her. Her content is great, and I'm very honored that she reached out to me to do this.
All right, we got a super chat here. I'm gonna read this super chat real quick. Now you guys can hear me. I got a couple super chats to read, and then we'll talk about that intro, because they're kind of, I mean, you kind of see where they're going with this. They already included Tim Sheaf drank
the piss drinking.
automatically discredited, BTFO. All right, let's see here. We got a couple donations. Here we go. Rat Splatigan. Thanks, Rat Splatigan. Sends $10 via Streamlabs. You guys, the Streamlabs is the best way to support. YouTube super chats are cool. Streamlabs way better. They don't take a big cut like YouTube does. He says sent yesterday, but stream buffered when answered. Watching your stream, it struck me that the first widely commercially available kibble, vegetarian kibble rather, in America was called Morningstar Farms from Kellogg. In your face, Luciferianism. That's an interesting observation you made there. Morningstar Farms, Kellogg's vegetarian brand. I think they sell like fake sausage and crap like that. Yeah, the Luciferian imagery. I mean, it doesn't. Some of these PR people, they don't even know what they're doing. They just kind of follow the templates. But there are some patterns there that seem to pop up all the time, with Morningstar and Venus imagery and stuff like that. So yeah, Ratsflanagan, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. Sorry that it buffered yesterday. I hope you got to hear this one today. Vegan Phobic Chat donates $4.99 through super chat. Says Dr. Gregor's D got the golden glow. Vegan Phobic Chat, another one of my favorite channels there. Vegan Phobic. So he knows, like, I guess that's kind of his way of calling out Tommy and Skye for trying to say they don't think Dr. Gregory's looking so hot. It's obviously, like, everybody can see the glow. Anti-vegan, what's up, Anti-vegan? Tuesday's up in the chat. Says, to the Three Musketeers. Thank you very much, Anti-vegan. Dr. Michael Swagger donated $5. Says, request for Skye on future streams. Use Streamlabs too, so people without credit card can send super chats. Yes, I'm not a good global citizen, although I'm vegan for 2/3 of the day. Anyways, great to see those two plant-based posers again. Plant-based posers. You guys got called out. All right. I think that's the last one. All right, let's continue with this. Traits ex-vegans have in common. How to spot the ex-vegans. I mean, it's already just the title of this video has kind of a culty Scientology audit type vibe, doesn't it? Traits ex-vegans have in common and how to spot them. It's like we need to interrogate these possible ex-vegans, and we need to spot them before, right? Like we need to somehow shame them or isolate ourselves from them, or find some way to discredit them beforehand. That seems to be the vibe here.
I tend to see it as these little vegans going to their own little support group and like giving each other a high five and leaving and trying to make themselves feel better by then unleashing these kind of videos. That's just how I see it. They go to the little vegans anonymous.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's it. When somebody leaves one of these cults. Are we back? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When someone leaves like a mind control cult or like one of these weird new age cults, they have a similar ritual always, right? It's like they have to shame and discredit the person who left and then reconcile with the loss within the group. So it's like a cult coping mechanism. They're mourning the loss, they're mourning the loss of a former member, but also at the same time healing by discrediting them and talking about how much they hate them and how stupid they are and how they're so wrong, and comforting themselves at the same time. So it's a very, very dynamic interaction that they have with their little games here.
I would say the number one trait being an ex-vegan is that you're vegan in the first place.
Wade Research says maybe someone can give VG's OnlyFans subscription to Tristan.
Would you want it?
Yeah, I don't know. You can't, thank God you can't send that via super chat. Thankfully, you cannot send me pictures and screenshots via super chat. Gabrielle Batista Goal says, "Is Lionel Messi vegan still?" Messi was never vegan. That's actually a lie. He was never vegan. He said in some interview at some point that he was eating more plants or something like that when he was interviewed. You know how these people are. You know how these athletes are. But he never even said he was a full-on vegan. So, I mean...
Who's the other one they always quote quite a lot? Novak Djokovic. He's been eating chicken and fish for years.
Yeah, Mike Tyson was vegan, but no, now he was never vegan. All of them. No, there's not a single legitimate athlete that is at the top of their game, right? That is at the peak of their game. Like, there's no top athlete that's vegan, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, even athletes aside, I think Freely has something premiering. I don't know if it's been released yet, about Miley Cyrus and proof that she's been ordering meat for the last year and whatever. Like, at first I thought, who cares, right? Because it's like, okay, she's been eating meat. But the second thing I thought was, okay, so she got sicker quicker and got healed quicker. Like, that doesn't prove, you know what I mean?
They miss the forest for the trees, right? They're trying to look at like, oh, look, Miley Cyrus said omegas. She didn't even say omega-3. She said omegas. She's a fool. She doesn't know what she's talking about, so we don't have to listen to anything she said. I mean, it's a really stupid straw man tactic. They don't want to listen to the actual arguments or see the real evidence in front of them, which is that this chick felt like shit. She stopped doing what made her feel like shit, and she stopped feeling like shit. And this is what happens over and over again with all these vegans. But they find so many creative ways to not see that. I mean, it's actually fascinating.
I've heard everyone say that she's a druggie and that's why she got sick, which somehow means you could be like, I don't know, a meth addict, and as long as you're having bits of fish, you're fine. That's the argument.
Well, also, it's okay. Well, she's a degenerate drug user when she was sick before on a vegan diet, and when she was not sick after a vegan diet. So I mean, it's not like, you know, I mean, this is somebody who's very in tune with how dysfunctional she is. You know, she's always performing.
I'm not having any difficulty.
The strange thing that really got me is every single one of them actually kept saying that she never supplemented. When she did say that she supplemented with everything, she was going for regular brain scans, the whole lot. She's got access to everything. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, like even in the Joe Rogan interview, she specifically said having MRIs done specifically, and like, oh, but you didn't see a doctor. It's like, who? Which?
She just said she's seeing a doctor that's scanning her freaking brain. She's seeing freaking like she's going to like some MK Ultra doctor that's got her wired up to fucking neural imaging machines. She's getting the full treatment. She's got that Hollywood high tech doctor. But no.
She's found someone at the back of an alley that does dodgy MRIs. That's what, I don't know what their argument is.
No, her doctor, he's not even vegan. He's an idiot. He's a science denier. People like the hench gif. When the hench gif comes up, unfortunately, Skye and Tommy aren't able to hear it, which sucks because you guys would crack up. It's the hench goes, I'm not having any problems. I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. I was telling Tommy earlier, I was like, dude, you look like a freaking bouncer, man. Like you go from these vegans all talking about Tommy. Oh, he had an eating disorder. Look, dude, this guy's been consistently gaining weight for the last how many years? He stopped being able to gain weight and be healthy on vegan diet, and now look at him. Like the dude's, he's looking jacked. He's looking jacked. He looks like he took Hench Herbivore's actual real job, the last real job that Hench Herbivore had, and the only job that he was maybe ever qualified for, other than a future I don't know, OnlyFans. You can call it at the melted thing on OnlyFans. You can find Hench Herbivore.
I always remember the first time I actually met Hench Herbivore was at V in the Park, the vegan camp out in Scotland, and he was walking past me and pure tripping him, and then he seen a lot of people, and then he turned around to me and he goes, can you take my camera and film me? And suddenly his face was lighting up and he was
and then he gave it back and he was like, I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you.
I actually got in trouble today because sometimes I leave genuine compliments on vegan pages. I'm not there to dick around and be mean to people.
Yeah, but you're funny though. You're like, you'll say a nice comment and there's something that's funny about it, even though there's nothing that's funny about it. There's something weird about what you do over. You got this female comic kind of vibe where like no one knows if you're half joking or not, which works.
The thing is, I'm being serious. It's just no one trusts me because I usually troll.
Exactly.
Like on my channel, I troll, but I have this thing where if I'm on someone else's space, that's not fair to be mean to them on their space. So I'll leave compliments when I do. And Hench gets this, I think, because he always says thank you, and I leave him compliments and stuff. Like sometimes he trolls us back, and I say good job at trolling us back. Like I appreciate when he trolls me back.
He just blocked me as soon as I asked him a simple question. Like 2 years ago, he blocked me.
Oh.
So I think I think Hench is a pussy. I think you're a pussy, Hench. I think you're a wuss. Come on and debate me, you coward.
The last video he did, like attacking all the, I think, ex-vegans and stuff, he put "you did it wrong" on the thumbnail, and I went and watched the video, and he was just trolling. So I said, "Good to see you trolling," and he removed my name from the thumbnail immediately. So I guess he was upset that I wasn't upset. I don't know, but like today I left a compliment because he had a picture of his girlfriend himself, like from before, and I thought she looked really nice. So I left a compliment on that. And then one of his, simps was all like simping for his own, like, "Is this sarcastic? Because you have a very toxic page," or whatever they said.
Exactly. They have no idea how to interact with real human beings. That's what's so funny. It's so funny to me. Like they'll come in, like grumpy vegan granddad comes in the chat a few weeks ago and just starts out right away. This like, "Oh, I'm 59 and you're balder than me." It's just like, dude, that's your opener. Like that's what you're opening with, dude. Like that. You can't even like you can't even do like a subtle jab. It's just like bald man bad, you ugly, you stupid. Come on, dude. There's no originality.
He was ranting off at my wife in the comments section of I think it was one of the live stream things that I done, and my wife's turned around to him and she says, "F off and get your Zimmer."
Yeah. All right, we got to finish this one. This video it does get good. I just get annoyed because I gotta keep switching the audio, but I already saw this stupid ass video. But yeah, no, you guys, I want to see your reaction, so we'll go for it.
Collab. As you can see from the title, this video is going to be based on what traits ex-vegans have in common, what these traits signify, and how we could use the recognition of these traits to really detect if somebody's going to become an ex-vegan in the future, or at least kind of expect it so that every time that an ex-vegan comes out, we're not just like, "Oh my God, we're so shocked." So after viewing this video, hopefully you have a better idea of what the red flags are and what the signs are of a future ex-vegan. So there are about 2 traits that we're going to be going over in this video. Number 1, the unusual health conscious nature of these ex-vegans, and also the rate at which and the frequency and the pattern at which they talk about animal rights and animal rights activism.
Ooh, debunked. So, health conscious. If you are heavy health conscious, if you care about your health at all, then that's the "my feelings though" fallacy. And we can just brush you off. We don't have to worry about you.
But I gotta say, if you don't care about your health, you're automatically doing it wrong. So I don't really understand this logic.
Well, how are you doing it wrong if you don't care about your health? How's that work?
Like Vegan Gains, for example, enjoys junk food days. He doesn't do it all the time, but if someone only lives on vegan junk food, they're probably going to fail anyway. And they can't go back and go, "Yeah, well, I didn't care about health, therefore I was okay, and there was no red flag." Like,
well, if he goes down with the ship and just, middle fingers to his body, middle fingers to the sky, then it's like, right, guns blazing, martyr for the cause, I guess. Maybe that's what it is.
But the average vegan on a junk food diet that isn't health conscious probably won't go down with the ship. That's all I'm saying.
No, neither will Vegan Gains, dude. That guy won't go down with anybody's ship. That guy doesn't give a shit about anybody. The dude sells his wife's butthole on Instagram, on OnlyFans, on new Instagram OnlyFans.
That's the problem as well, though, I think, because most of them that advocate for a whole foods plant-based diet are not even on that anyway. They survive on things like mock meats and things because that's probably the only way you actually sustain yourself.
I feel, and I've said this before, I think a lot of these junk food vegans end up lasting longer on the diet just because they're not, Whole Foods plant-based, Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen. I've even heard Durian Rider say this, and I agree with his assessment on this, is that's one of the quickest ways for, just completely burn out on a vegan diet, or like raw vegan, or, fasting. But vegan in general, it's fasting, right? So if you're pounding a bunch of, fake meats and vegan pizza all the time, you're just drowning yourself in all this oil. So you're getting more calories and stuff, and you're getting more protein in. But it's going to take its toll eventually. I think
I want to change the subject and just ask an OnlyFans question, because I don't watch anything of that sort in my life. So how many times do you have to watch one person's butthole before you start getting bored of it and not want to pay for it anymore?
Right,
Because they
like
do like
20
6-month
bucks.
packages.
Yeah.
$20.
Well, I want to see the stats. How many 6 months packages is Vegan Gains selling of, you know, his wife's tastefully done butthole pictures in bondage gear? Yeah, and also I want to see how many people are resubscribing, and then how do they keep those people from just taking those images and then spreading them all over?
I think they're going to get spread anyway. But I really would like to know from people into that kind of thing, like, when do you start getting bored of one person's butthole if they don't belong to you and it's plastered online website in picture form? At some point, you got to be like, I've seen it all before, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I just can't relate to wanting to see buttholes in general, so I can't even get to step one to even like begin to answer this. Like,
yeah,
especially selling your wife on it. I mean, wow.
Well,
I'm not even commenting about that. I bet someone in chat is into this stuff. And I would really like to know if at some point it gets really boring. They must all be very different, and there must be a charm to the differences in them.
Yeah, it seems. I mean, let's see. OnlyFans. It seems like OnlyFans is about like I think you could stream there. They might be streaming. So.
Oh.
Yeah, there might. I think it might be about the interaction, and you can like, I don't know. They can request certain angles of Vegan Gains wife's butthole, and
that's how they keep it like fresh.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
like
you.
different angles, I guess. Who knows? To like move the camera 20 degrees to the right. All these freaking, I don't know. Any Coomers in the chat? No, all the Coomers are hiding away. None of them want to answer.
Yeah, no one's. They're gonna get attacked, I think, in this chat. Anyway, actually speaks up.
Zyklon, be still, no God. He says, Coomer for life. I won't be satisfied until I see every hole. Sarah Moon just says, disgusting. I'm with you, Sarah Moon. Disgusting. Jay Dyer says, Dr. Coomer. I guess that's Dr. Greger's Dr. Coomer. We should change Coomer. Let's change. We should get the internet to change Coomer to Gregor. Like the new name for a Coomer is a Gregor. That should be.
I don't even think he would get the reference at this point.
But it'd be one of those things where it's just like forever. People would call Coomers Gregors forever. It would just be so funny.
That's pretty funny.
All right, let's go back to let's see what they have to say here. Health. What is it? My feelings, though. Yeah. So I guess health is just your feelings. Right? That's just your feelings, man. Who cares? How do we do it?
Now, if you take a look at these ex-vegans, they tend to be very health orientated. Now, that's not to say that if you identify as a plant-based person for health reasons, but you also are an ethical vegan, that you're destined to be an ex-vegan. But it's still a very common trait amongst them. Now, if we actually look at the reasons...
I'm going to back that up because it's really funny the way she words this. Very deceptive.
Now, that's not to say that if you identify as a plant-based person for health reasons, but you also are an ethical vegan, that you're destined to be an ex-vegan. But it's still a very common trait amongst them. Now, if we actually look at the reasons why they become ex-vegans, a lot of them are for health reasons. Most of them are anecdotal, and they say things like, oh, I just didn't feel good, or I wasn't healthy enough, or optimum health, and now I'm switching to eggs, fish, or whatever it is. Now, we must ask the question here, what would a truly ethical vegan do if they didn't feel like they were getting everything from the vegan diet? Well, they would do everything not to support the animal agriculture. They would find out what they were missing and how to get it from the plant-based diet. Now, we all know that there's nothing magical in animal products that you can't find in plants. Visiting plant-based nutritionists or dietitians would be ideal in this situation. Any ethical vegan that has half a brain would actually do that. But if you look at these ex-vegans, a lot of them, they don't do that. Bonnie Rebecca and Maddie Limburner both admitted to going to naturopaths instead of going to a plant-based nutritionist or dietitian. To be fair, maybe they didn't realize that a naturopath isn't as nutritionally reliable as a dietitian, but the point...
Yeah, or maybe they realized that the Dietitians Association...
I remember, unless I'm remembering wrong, I think Bonnie and Breck is the one that went to doctors and they all said, eat animal product. You're agreeing, Tommy? Is that what happened?
That's exactly right. And I did the exact same thing as well.
Yeah.
I went to doctors, they told me to do that. I went to a dietitian. I even went to Goji Man, but the dietitian that I went to, they flung that back in my face because they said it wasn't a plant-based dietitian.
There you go. And plant-based, I found near the end, I was reaching out. Like once they saw my list of like my medical results, the plant-based dietitians didn't want to work with me because they actually had my medical results, and they were like, they ghosted me when they saw the medical results. They were all for working me up until then. So there's a limit to what you can do.
I like how she, just the way she words it, you know, it's like, well, not everybody who's health conscious is going to be an ex-vegan, but anybody who's health conscious, we should be very wary of. It's kind of the undertone, right? And the music.
I gotta say, I gotta give a shout out to Emma because she is one of my like YouTube buddies, but she's so politically correct and I'm the opposite, that we always butt heads a little bit, but we're still kind of friends. And I can hear her pandering a little bit. Sorry, Emily. I can hear her pandering a little bit of like, but not everyone, but don't worry, because she is very super woke about offending people. So but I'm not.
Yeah. So is she pretty serious about her vegan activism?
I think she's very serious about veganism. She's not as much of an activist as like Joey Carbstrong. She wouldn't call people like, I don't know how much I can swear on here, but the R word.
What's that?
The R word.
A rapist? A rapist?
A rapist. I always spell it as a joke. Yeah. Like a rapist murderer basically is what Joey called. She wouldn't call people that. She's a bit more like politically correct than that. So, and like in her, like all due respect to her, she knows that I've seen doctors and she kind of accepts that I haven't been called, you know, really stupid by her yet. So
yeah, well, it's funny to say, well, look, if they're not a mainstream doctor, they don't have the answers, but most mainstream doctors are also not going to tell you to go vegan and, you know, just you're doing it wrong. Veganism is not about your health. It's about the animals. It's like that's no mainstream doctors are going to tell you what you're saying you want to hear.
Most of the mainstream anything, at least to the best of their training, have your health in mind, I think. Not medicine wise or anything like prescription wise, but a lot of them will try and look at simple solutions. Like if someone comes in and they're morbidly obese, they will tell them to exercise a bit before they try and give them too many tablets and stuff. So you know what I mean? There is a kind of point where a mainstream doctor isn't, as you said, Tristan, like the animals. No, they're going to be like, okay, try eating this.
Right.
But and also vitamin D deficiency, they'll be like, maybe try some tuna as well. So
it's just amazing how far behind, like, so the whole vegan world, right? These people, they interact with a lot of these doctors and they'll call on these doctors to become their authorities and give people advice about how to do it right. And they'll conjure up Dr. Greger's image whenever they want to, scare their children into listening. But they do all this, but I was going to say, I just got distracted by the chat here. Sorry. I saw Phoenix Compilations. What's up, Phoenix Compilations? And I just remembered, I got to thank Phoenix Compilations for sending some clipped stuff from some of the most recent streams. Jessica read that email, and she's pretty stoked that you sent some clips. So, yeah, thanks. The Phoenix Compilation says, how many packages filled with poop hit Goji Man's doorstep every day? I don't know. I haven't heard a Goji Man poo-poo joke in a long time, and I'm a little just baby child inside. So thank you very much, Phoenix Compilations. So anyways, they want to call upon all these authorities, all these vegan authorities and these vegan health figures. Yet when you actually look at like the content that these people put out within the vegan dogma world, like online vegan health community, it's really basic stuff. And you don't see it advancing at all. Like in the last decade, and I've been paying attention and watching this niche for like a decade on and off because I meet people coming in and out of it all the time, right? Anybody who's trying to get their health together, they end up getting sucked into the vegan idea at some point, whether it be for a few days or a few weeks, it comes up. But the whole vegan like community compared with just, for instance, like the paleo, they call it ancestral health people, there are so many nutritional practitioners, there's so many what do they call them? Functional medicine practitioners, naturopaths, doctors who are very, very well versed in this stuff and who helped a lot of people. And they go deep. Like, this community goes really deep into these issues, but the vegan, it's like scratching the surface and just trying to brush away any images for PR purposes. And it's kind of, people's health suffer because of that.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We'll hear what's her face a little bit more here.
Bonnie Rebecca and Maddie Limberna both admitted to going to naturopaths instead of going to a plant-based nutritionist or dietitian. To be fair, maybe they didn't realize that a naturopath isn't as nutritionally reliable as a dietitian.
And the dietitians are not nutritionally reliable at all also. So they love to call upon the American Dietetics Association, right, in the US at least. And they say, oh, well, they say that this is good for people of all walks of life and of all ages, or whatever their stupid mantra is that they repeat to make themselves feel better. They don't want to look at the other side of the coin and the information that is showing the blatant bias of the American Dietetics Association. I mean, they're bankrolled by big agriculture. Nestle, Coca-Cola sponsor and bankroll this organization. So they give shit advice. They just say calories in, calories out. And the policy paper that they're talking about here, that was published by the American Dietetics Association, is incredibly flawed. Very, very flawed. There's a good video on that, but I forget the channel that made it. I'll try to find that so I can share it with the audience and recommend that one. All right, here we go.
But the point still stands that they didn't try everything they could, because if they went to a naturopath and it didn't work, then they should have gone to a dietitian, which most of them do not.
All right, so let's talk about the actual diets of these ex-vegans in the past when they were vegan, and what the general behavior is of somebody who is unusually health conscious. Somebody who is unusually health conscious is obviously very conscious and aware and thinking about all the time how they're feeling and just how healthy they're feeling, usually on a daily basis. These people are constantly thinking like, oh, how do I feel today? I don't feel too good. Oh, like I need to maybe like eat this or eat that. This is the mental state of somebody who is over-invested in their actual feelings when it comes to their health and their baseline subjective experience on a daily basis. Now,
what the hell are you saying there, guy? Hey, Dr. Lifting Vegan Logic, can you please repeat that for me? Because that cope was that was good. Let's hear this again.
Somebody who is unusually health conscious. Somebody who is
unusually health conscious. So where do you draw the line? Where do you start being unusually health conscious, right? Do you retroactively look back and say, this person was unusually health conscious when they were vegan after they become never really vegan? Or how does this even work in the vegan cult? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If a patient comes to doctor complaint, the first thing the doctor says is not, you're just talking about your feelings now. They can actually take a note of your symptoms and look at what it might be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sorry, I hadn't switched the audio back over and you were muted for the first part of the statement. Do you want to just repeat it for the audience? Because that was really well said.
I don't remember what I said for the first part, but I was
something
just
about
saying,
Dr. Greger's vitamin D, and I don't know.
I was saying there's there are measurable things in these symptoms. So like if someone's dizzy, that's okay, that could be a feeling. They might be feeling dizzy, it might be psychosomatic, whatever. But if someone is fainting, that's the measurable part. So there's going to be a lot of measurable parts to what people are feeling. And I don't know, I guess people heard the second part, but I was also just saying, like, when you go to doctor, they'll take all the symptoms, they'll group them together, and they won't say, no, that's just your feelings though. They will actually look at the symptoms and see if there's some kind of pattern going on, and they'll run some tests. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of these ex-vegans did do that, but let's just ignore that and let's call them unusually health conscious. So if you did go to a doctor and try to figure out your health issues, does that make you unusually health conscious? You know what I mean? It's just
absolutely.
This makes no sense. This guy's assertions. It's like, if you care about your health at all, then red flag. We should be, quarantining you. We're gonna have to quarantine you. We're gonna have to audit you constantly. You're gonna have to jump on the e-meter, and we'll audit you and ask you questions and read your vital signs.
And part of what I went through was I got referred to a whole bunch of specialists to figure out what was going on, because I had blood test results and symptoms all over the place. So I was saying, like, at the beginning, I was happy to give people the benefit of that and explain a little bit of what I went through. I've stopped now. Now I'm like, you can all go after yourselves. But at the beginning, I was like, okay, I'll give you a benefit of that as a human being. which they're apparently not. But yeah, so I got told, oh, now you had a team of doctors. Oh, you're a hypochondriac. It's like, so if you're really that sick that a whole bunch of doctors have to take care of you for a long time, you're a hypochondriac. That's how it works for some people.
For sure. Oh, what did you pay with those with your human privilege? What did you pay with those doctors with your white human privilege? You stupid human supremacist bigot.
I was exactly the same, and even some of my blood tests that did come back as normal levels, the doctors turned around to me and actually said that my normal levels are not comparative to like a baseline. For what you could be normal could be totally different to somebody else. So even though I had symptoms of certain things, it wasn't showing up in my blood.
Yeah.
That's another thing. So, well, yeah, it's funny. So then they'll say, no, well, you're just a hypochondriac. You're just making up problems. You didn't even measure it. If you just went to a doctor, you could have figured it out. But then if you do start seeking, if you talk about your problems, then you're unusually health conscious and you're problematic. I guess like anytime any vegans talk about health issues now, they'll just ritualistically shame them and preemptively, they'll shun them. We have to shun anybody who talks about health. So apparently Dr. Greger, right? Dr. Greger, he's very health conscious. He's always talking about health. So I guess we should, maybe he was never really vegan.
Yeah. Good
Somebody made a really good comment. Where'd that go? Vegan solution, dissociate from your feelings, right? That's what he's promoting. Dissociative tendencies. Don't think about your feelings. It doesn't matter how you feel. It matters how we say you feel and how we say you should feel.
This is why it's good for all of us actually to sometimes just step outside of our own little bubble of everyone agreeing and everyone understanding what we're saying and see what like other people who aren't involved in all this say. Because I'm sure when they collabed for this video, it was a really good idea and that made great sense as an argument.
Yeah, but between the two of them, it's like, yeah, we nailed it. They always say that they care about their health, and then they always like care more about not bleeding from their ass than about killing chickens and crickets. Oh man! Yeah. But then to the outside world, it's like, you guys are nuts. By the way.
I don't keep apologizing to my friend during this. She knows. But yeah, like I'm sure it seems like a really good idea in the bubble as well. I'm sure all the comments are really supportive. But the average person looking at this is going to be like, someone got sick, and you guys are just mocking them. Yeah. Basically.
Well, and then from their bubble, they'll say the same thing about us. They're like, oh, they have terrible arguments. They're like, feelings though, crop deaths though, hypocrisy though. It's like, well, no, those are all valid arguments. You just brush them aside. So they think that, from their echo chamber, they're sitting here thinking, look at these people. They just want to justify their murderousness. And they just stay there and they project that out. And then they stay safe. The glass house is polished.
It's really telling because in the 4 years that I was vegan, there was quite a focused health message in the vegan movement, but lately you see them totally dissociating from the health message at all, and I think that's really, really telling.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hench jumped in there and mentioned, he reminded us that he's not having any problems, and he's bigger than us and stronger than us. I just wanted to remind Tommy here, in case you got that cut off shirt going on. I see the guns are out, but Hench, like, dude, just remember, Hench is bigger than you and stronger than you. So maybe kind of shrivel up a bit, man. Hide away.
I gotta say, I know Hench could take me in a fight, but it doesn't prove crap. So just throwing that out there.
Wow,
they talk about toxic masculinity, and he's saying that very thing.
I know, that's why I love it. That's why I use that clip, because he's so unaware. All right, Jake Smith sent a $4.99 super chat. Says, why is the vasectomy movement so prominent and gaining numbers within the vegan ideology? Is this Freely Durian Rider's fault or some other source? I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys hear much about that?
Freely.
She was big on that, man. DR and Freely were big on that, but I mean, what influenced them? They were influenced by all the climate crisis narrative, all this humans bad, overpopulation bullshit that we've been taught. So I mean, they're just expressing what the normie formulated worldview is supposed to be at this point. Oh, we're bad for being human.
When I was vegan, but
hey, Tommy, sorry, dude. We were I couldn't hear you that whole time, and we weren't live. So go ahead.
Yeah, what was going to.
Oops. I'm frozen again, Tommy. Shoot. You guys in the chat here still? You guys still there? You guys are a little bit behind on us. Oh, we might be reaching the end of our... Hey, are we good?
Okay, I can see you.
Okay, cool. Sorry. Tommy, you guys start again, man. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, what I was going to say there was I never really come across anything about vasectomy when I was in the vegan movement, but a lot of people were really against procreating and things like that. So I think it's been something that's been about for quite a long while.
It has been on for quite a long while. I would say at the very least, we should have full transparency with vasectomies. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to go and have a facial and put, some slop on my face for half an hour and leave, and I'm all fresh and rejuvenated. Like, you're actually having bits snipped around. Like, you should probably have full transparency, and I think sometimes things are oversold.
Yeah, the vasectomy thing, I've a lot of people that regret that. You know what's cool though is I used to put that clip of Dr. Greger talking to one of those vegan YouTubers. Yeah. He's like, what is the best vegan birth control? And he goes, vasectomy. And the clip is just hilarious because he's like glaring at this young dude, like, fucking sterilize yourself. Just like a demon, like, take yourself out of the gene pool. Let Dr. Greger's genes take over. It's like, I don't know. The moment's so funny because he's so stupidly menacing. I just see it as like sinister, but they're like, oh, he's funny and cute. But yeah, we had him, the guy that he was that was almost vasectomied on camera by Dr. Greger. He ended up leaving the vegan movement.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. That was Jason Pizzino, I think.
Yes, Jason Pizzino. Yeah. Shout out to Jason. He turns out
and he's like, vasectomy, baby, and he's just like.
Yeah, he's like, and when he came on the show, we talked about that moment. He was like, dude, he's like, I wanted children. Like I wanted babies, and when he told me that, I was just like, damn, like that's pretty forthcoming. Calm down.
Did you
buddy.
see the full clip? Because he said that to Greger. He said, well, what if you want kids? And Greger said something like, yeah. He's like, oh, probably not a good idea then. So
he was like, oh, I guess. It was like so shocked. Oh, well, yeah, sure. If you want to have kids, like, fuck, whatever, man. If you want to do that, like you realize you have to pay for them and like nurture them, right? All right.
I think that Jason Pizzino's ex-girlfriend, that Henya Menya, she seems to be suffering quite a lot recently as well.
Is she? That's too bad. She's still vegan.
Yeah,
she's still vegan, but she's got a lot of suffering with a lot of mental health problems. It's a shame.
Oh man.
I keep hearing that about her. I hope she's doing okay. Like, I hope she gets better. Yeah.
I do hope so.
I know it's like the first red flag, but I really hope she goes, if she hasn't already, just go see the doctor and follow some advice, even though that's a big red flag apparently. But
yeah, oh right. Yeah, well she's not one of those ex-vegans who goes and like talks about problems or deals with their issues. Like, repress it, bury it down deep inside. Go, waste some money on some OnlyFans subscriptions and coom on vegans.
It's really heartbreaking though, because all you really want to see is them getting better. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's really
like
sad.
I don't care if she finds a vegan solution gets better. You know what I mean? I'm not even I don't root for anyone to quit veganism, because if someone wants to be vegan and they're quitting, they are really sick. So yeah, I don't wish that on them.
That's what's so hard to watch. It's like the lashing out in the last stages when they realize it. They realize how shitty they feel.
Yeah,
they lash out. It's hard to watch sometimes. Sometimes it's entertaining, and sometimes with Hench and these guys, it's kind of like, oh, I'm not having any problems. It's just like a big goof. They're funny. Dr. Greger's hilarious, but yes, how dare you? Oh, how dare you? Greta's popping up here. We got anti-vegan up in the chat. Sends $3. Says look up the Vegan Kitty on YouTube. We got double E's on that. All right, we'll finish. We'll get to the last point on this video, which is way too long, and then we'll watch that clip there. Thank you very much. Tuesday. Jake Smith, we already read that one. Let me come over here and see if there's any stream labs. I think, I'm not sure if we got any in there. Thanks for the support, guys. Remember, we are user supported, not YouTube supported. So the super chat support is always appreciated. Streamlabs, the best way to support the streams, and make sure you keep getting these good streams, because if you don't send them Streamlabs, I'm going to hold these hostage. Let me come back over here, and Tommy and Skye and I will watch this lovely video here.
Usually health conscious is obviously very conscious and aware and thinking about all the time how they're feeling and just how healthy they're feeling.
All the time.
Usually on a daily basis. These people are constantly thinking like, oh, how do I feel today? I don't feel too good. Like I need to maybe like eat this.
Okay, I have to stop it again. I got to stop it again. I had to stop it again just to comment, but what a projection too. They're just always thinking about that. That's all they ever think about ever. It's not like, no, these people might have a normal life outside of this, and then they run into this health problem, and then it starts to take over because it fucks them up so bad and they don't feel well. It's like there's no empathy there. It's just, no, they just always think about this because they're delusional, and that's all they think about always. That's all they do, always, ever. It's like a 3-year-old's analysis of a social situation.
I mean, once you're at the point you're thinking about health all the time, it's bad. Like if you find yourself bedridden and in extreme agony, you try and not think about how your health sucks. Like seriously, I tried, but you try, and actually you can do all your mindfulness, whatever. But if you're bedridden, there's only so much that's going to help you.
Yeah,
Totally
you're shitting 20 times. Go ahead.
I totally agree with that. That last video I put up in June 2019, I was actually literally crying in that video with the pain below my left ribs and things like that. That's how bad it was. Like,
yeah.
But that's a red flag. You're thinking too much about your pain, right? Like, just imagine this dude's like,
it was red flags for both of us. So yeah, I guess.
Red flags for you of we got to get out of this world.
Yeah, for most people, being really, really sick is pretty much a red flag. I would agree.
But I mean, the lack of self-awareness, the lack of empathy for other people, the complete lack of, and these are the compassionate vegans, right? The lack of compassion for these other people, and just the brushing aside of their experiences it's very sad, it's very dehumanizing, very demoralizing, and yeah, that's really immature of you, dude. That's all I gotta say. Lifting vegan logic, I think that's pretty pathetic. But I don't know, you're pretty cool with your earrings and your like little fade and stuff. So yeah, keep inspiring us to go vegan with your great insights here and your cute little earrings.
It is just a pep talk to fellow vegans of like, don't worry, all these people are trashing your beliefs. Don't worry, we got your back. I think this whole video is just a pep talk.
Eat that. This is the mental state of somebody who is over-invested in their actual feelings when it comes to their health and their baseline subjective experience on a daily basis. Now, the concept I'm going to cover today is something that I've covered in the past in my other videos on Elise Parker, but because of how relevant it is to this particular video, I'm going to be covering it again. People who are very health conscious and are constantly thinking about how they feel on their plant-based diet are much more likely to be victim and susceptible to the placebo effect. So here are a couple examples of ex-vegans who demonstrate this exactly.
I had strong faith that I could get everything that I needed on a plant-based vegan diet.
Is it frozen again, I think?
But I decided to try something.
What just happened?
For one.
Why is it doing this? Oh, wait. No? You guys hear me? We still here? What the hell just happened? Can you guys hear me?
I think it's not frozen. Or...
Am I back?
I think so.
Am I back? Hello? Hello, hello? Here. Can you guys hear me?
Okay, people can hear us. I think Tristan's just muted for us.
Okay, I think I figured it out. I think we're good now.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, just more of the gibberish of these people are overly health conscious. I guess we should skip to the next section, unless you have any. You guys got any insights on that one?
I mean, no, I've already said, like, for people who've been to see doctors, there's always a rebuttal, and I think it is a pep talk. You know, you've been to see doctors. Oh, but did you see plant-based doctors? For people who had the dietitians like reject to see them because they couldn't put you in a plant. I presume that's the only reason they get ghosted. And I've heard Bonnie, Rebecca, and others tried to go to Goji Man and got ghosted as well. So I don't think it's just something that happened to me.
Yeah. I'm just checking out the comments over here. There are some interesting comments. We vegans should start giving testimonials on how meat harmed our health just to piss off the carnivore community. Title them ex-carnivore testimony. They don't realize that these are not you're not understanding the phenomenon. Like you're intentionally blinding yourself to what's really happening, and it's amazing. It's just you're not playing the same game. I don't even know where to start with these people. The horny vegan's little brother. So there you go. The horny vegan's little brother. How befitting of a Coomer name you've got. Oops. Yeah. Let's listen some more here.
So just imagine being somebody who is so excessively emotionally invested in how they feel from their diet and being under the impression in their head that maybe the vegan diet is nutritionally deficient and then deciding to go and eat some animal products. So people like Tim Sheaf and Elise Parker are so emotionally invested in their diet that they had one meal and they felt amazing. This is obviously the placebo effect at play, and it's no coincidence given their history of like all these different diets and things they've tried that there are these kinds of people that are very emotionally invested in how they feel and sort of like what diets will bring them the most optimal health ever.
In with the official diet update over the last 5 or 6.
I mean, he's kind of saying the same thing, but he does add some weirdness to it there too. Let's skip forward. We'll skip forward and find a better clip, because I mean it's basically saying the same thing, just adding some new weirdness to it every time. Oops.
I mean, it's interesting they mention the placebo effect because that's always going to take part in something. But I do think a lot of us hung on to veganism longer than we needed to because of the placebo effect of that. Like there is a placebo going on, but this is so healthy. Like I'm eating whole foods. Like what is going on? Like you don't equate it to the vegan diet a lot of the time. Especially a lot of my symptoms we were all shocked. Like my doctors and I were all shocked that eating meat reversed a lot of that. So yeah, like I would say there was a placebo effect and it goes both ways.
It's exactly like you said there, Skye, about you trying everything to hang on to veganism, because I think that's quite what everybody does. They'll go into raw foods, anything under the sun to obviously try and stay vegan but yet they get lambasted for it as well. So you can't really win.
There's no win. Do you guys want to keep going with this video? I feel like we all know where it's going. I think it's a good. Oops, can you guys even hear me? You can. I think it's a good teaching prop for the audience, but it's just too long. This guy bores me.
I think the video just teaches me sometimes. Even for me, it's good to step outside of my own bubble and just hear what other people think, because I don't want to end up like. I don't mean any disrespect. I just don't want to end up in a bubble where I'm talking to people who only agree with me and that's it. You know, I think it goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
That tends to happen a lot in the vegan sphere. They kind of encase themselves in this like kind of echo chamber. That's the last thing you want. You want to be able to see both sides and have respect for people as well.
Yeah.
So they'll take that and they'll be like, oh, you're a hypocrite because you banned me. It's like, no, I banned you because you're fucking obnoxious and you guys have no originality and you spam it. Like you get banned because you don't bring anything fun. If you want to come and spar, you can come spar. You can come play. I'll play. You just got to be able to throw the ball to the fucking glove. That's all you got to do. Just throw me the ball and quit fucking throwing it way behind me or way in front of me. Quit dropping it on the ground. Yeah. All right, we'll watch a little bit more because this I don't know. This kind of summed up veganism 2020 for me right now. This video is like, this is the state of all these the vegan YouTube bubble right now. This is the state of it. Ping pong against the glass house walls.
6 years or so, I have pursued a lot of different ways of eating. I will list them.
I think it's fairly obvious that Tim Sheaf is one of those people, given his extremely long water fast. When it comes to Maddie Limburner and her symptoms, Vegan Gains did a fantastic video speculating as to why she couldn't experience the symptoms she did and how they could particularly be the result of her not eating enough to compensate for her extremely frequent and strenuous exercise routine. That video will be linked below. Mike the Vegan also did a fantastic video on Maddie Limburner where he went over correlations between certain low levels of body fat which Maddie possesses and low levels of estrogen, which Maddie also complained about having towards the end of her vegan diet. Mike also points out that she had been vegan for 7 years and that the symptoms had only just started recently around the same time that her MidFit channel came out, which includes extremely frequent uploads of very intensive workouts. Given Maddie's body fat being in the range which is associated with lower estrogen, given these symptoms didn't begin to occur until recently, and given that her MidFit channel is also what has been blowing up recently, which includes very intensive workouts which most likely have contributed to Maddie's very low body fat, I think it is a fair assumption to say that Maddie may have not been eating a vegan diet that was nutritionally sufficient enough to cope with the extremely intensive and frequent exercise.
How frequent are these videos? Are they like 5 a day? What's going on?
Yeah, well, let's see. She's got it pulled up right there. It's like
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 5 a week, but these are, one of them's a 30-minute workout. You got a 14-minute video, a 3-minute video, a 17. And it's like these are 20-minute, like, these are yoga chick workouts, dude. Like, she's got a freaking yoga mat. This is not an intense exercise. This chick has a yoga mat and is doing dances for 20 to 30 minutes at a time.
And it's different muscle groups, presumably, right? In different videos as well.
Well, yeah, you do like the front of the butt and then the side of the butt, and then you do the front of the leg.
There you go.
That's all they do is their butt and their legs, these chicks anyways. But,
I mean, I like Pilates, so I can't say crap.
I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying, like,
I know.
I'm not saying she should be doing super intense exercise. I'm just critiquing the critique, right? She's not powerlifting. This chick's not like bench pressing 3 times her weight, or frying her central nervous system by sprinting and doing crazy HIIT. This is mellow.
Yeah,
So,
I don't imagine, like, I know she's probably choreographing and stuff behind the scenes, but I can't imagine she's choreographing for that long. It looks like, I mean, I haven't seen her videos, so I don't know, but it looks like she's probably doing a different group per video, and that in itself could be done in a day if she's doing a different group per video.
Well, so I guess
as well?
I don't really know about her. Do you know anything about her? I've never really seen this person.
I didn't really know a great deal about her, but I know she's been on like morphine and things like that as well, which they kind of glossed over as well. She must have been in hell of amount of pain to be on that.
Well, then they'll just say, she was a drug addict. They'll just call her, they'll say she used drugs because she had been prescribed morphine. You don't get prescribed morphine unless you're really messed up. Like, they don't give you morphine unless you're messed up.
But I have to drop in because I remember thinking this. You don't get prescribed morphine without a doctor. Like, what? How is everyone finding this one back alley guy that does MRIs and morphine prescriptions? Like, there's no way she couldn't have seen a doctor with his morphine. I don't understand when people are like, oh, they didn't see a doctor. Because, like, well, hello, someone prescribed something.
I did it right. There's a profile. Have you seen this one? There's a profile called I Did It Right.
Oh yeah, I know that profile.
That's
I
cool.
did it right. How are you doing?
See, everyone's saying the same thing. I think intense exercise can be bad long term, says VL now. Absolutely, but she's not. I mean, she's dancing. Like, she's doing a really mellow workouts.
A lot of older populations do switch to something that's more Pilates or yoga-like to preserve their muscles instead of strenuous exercises like weightlifting and stuff. I mean, some can still weightlift, but this is something you do that's kinder to the body. So,
she's being safe. She's not doing anything stupid here. She's not jumping and, she's not doing box jumps that are up to her chest. She's not doing CrossFit. She doesn't even look like she's sweating in most of these, at least in the thumbnails.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen from her Instagram and things, she really lived on a whole foods plant-based diet, which is what they actually recommend. So I don't see where she was actually going wrong.
I guess what they're trying to cope, and I guess the pep talk is, I guess we skipped forward because I was bored, but apparently it's like they're too exercise oriented. I guess too much exercise. So let's see where she goes with it. Maybe she'll clear it up, and we'll look really dumb because she's totally right.
Because right now, just from what I was saying, if she was to do much less than this, like, they might say she didn't exercise enough, right?
Exactly.
So...
She's doing, I mean, dude, she's doing like exercises that 50-year-old women, would feel pretty comfortable doing. Most 50, I'm not saying she's not an athlete. She does look very fit. She looks good in the pictures, but she's not, she's not like Venus, Serena Williams, or whichever one's still around. Go ahead. You got something? All right, I got to change the audio. Here we go.
That she has been executing during her recent blowing up on Midfit channel, which may have led to her lower estrogen levels on a vegan diet. When it comes to John Venus and his diet, it doesn't really seem like he was eating an extremely deficient diet. In all honesty, it's hard to really know why he actually is no longer vegan because he never really specified why he started eating animal products again. I will say that John Venus has admitted in the past that he has had a vicious cycle of binge eating and compensating with
like 10,000 calories, and he was eating like a 2,000 calorie diet and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're back. So we were just talking about the the binge eating accusation. So, oh, he had an eating disorder, maybe, but I'm not saying for sure, but maybe he did. That's basically what she's going for here.
Yeah, binge eating is more than just like, I would presume it wouldn't be if it was an eating disorder speculatively. With binge eating, you can see it a bit more than you would see it on John. It would be a mixture of something else with it. I just throwing that out there. It's
yeah,
not
exactly.
Like, oh, he binge ate.
She's grasping at straws. I mean, she searched on his channel, and you could see where she got a little screenshot here. She searched for binge on his channel and found 2 videos that had the word binge that he might have just used as clickbait. To be on, like,
that's exactly it.
He might have just used this as clickbait. Binge eating and addiction is my experience, right? Look, everybody's had times when, even when you're a kid, you eat 3-4 bowls of Lucky Charms, you feel like you're about to blow up, but it's like there are levels to this stuff. And John Venus, to insinuate that he had some sort of disordered eating, and then eating a few eggs and some fish cured him of that, I guess. I mean, I don't like what are you saying? It's not like that's what he was battling against. He never said he had a problem that he needed to get rid of with binging, and that eating animals solved it. You're just grasping at straws.
Binge eating is usually a result of restriction, and John never really restricted, Yeah,
you can see the pictures there.
Done a lot of challenges and things like that, fair enough, but...
Yeah, he's never spoken, to my knowledge, about anything. Like, I don't really follow John enough to know, but I don't think he's ever brought anything like that up. So anything we say is pure speculation at this point.
Shout out to John Venus. John Venus, you want to come back on the show sometime? Maybe you can clear things up for vegans. Maybe there are things that John knows that the vegans don't know that you could help clear the air with, John. So John's a good dude. I'm sure he'd be like, I'm sure he'd like to come on another time soon, and he can clear this up. But yeah, I'm pretty sure John Venus, it wasn't, he didn't leave veganism because he had an eating disorder. But maybe in the vegan community, they can just move towards, right, like all the carnists have an eating disorder, and anybody who doesn't want to be vegan is a mentally ill person with an eating disorder. I don't know.
I would say as well, calling people out for eating disorders and things like that, self-diagnosing them when you don't actually know they've actually got an eating disorder is really, really triggering, and Skye can actually attest to that. It's the worst thing you can actually do.
Yeah, like, I accept the world isn't a safe space, and part of eating disorder recovery is dealing with the environment. So people will say stuff, but I guess the 2 people here, like Emily doesn't claim to be professional. My issue is more with people like Freddie, who's like, look, I help cure eating disorders. Now let me make people with eating disorders feel like crap. That's more my issue. Whereas someone like, this is I guess a comedy. Is it a comedy channel? I haven't laughed yet, but they've done funny videos.
Is he lifting vegan logic? I think it's, well, unless it's satire and it's really not that good yet, but it's about to get really crazy. I don't think it's a comedy channel.
I've seen one video on John Venus that I thought was pretty funny. It made fun of us a little bit, and I thought
you're gonna have to send me to that, because I've yet to see evidence that a single vegan has a sense of humor. To
be fair, I played it on one of my live streams. There was a video I wanted to play to people because I thought it was funny, but then we played Tristan talking through Petunia and reading that, and after Tristan, everything was an anti-climax. So I had to cut it short, because okay, none of us are finding this funny now, but I promise it was funny when I saw it.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed my eulogy to Petunia. I still, I don't know why you thought that was funny. Are you just trying to trigger me or something?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
They actually lost their only funny guy in Jacko Wacko, was apparently that's how I'm not vegan, because Jacko's my idol.
I enjoyed some of his before he left veganism. I watched a few of his like ripping on people videos, and I liked him. Like, the way he laughed at his own jokes and shit. It's like, all right, this guy's like would be fun to hang out with. Like he's got that like that cackle. He seemed like he was legitimately funny, but I didn't find the content that funny, because I just felt like I didn't agree with him. So it was kind of like, well, no, I don't. Whatever.
He's the one guy, I would say this, he's the one guy that you can see on video and he's exactly the same in real life. Yeah. That's absolute truth.
Yeah,
he's a real stand-up.
He seems really cool. Jacko, when you coming on the stream again, dude? Get your freaking life together and come on my live stream, dude.
I think he's not been making videos recently as well.
He had a few videos that I saw last month. I haven't seen any in the last couple of weeks.
Is that a red flag that he's going back to being a vegan? Should we make a video on that?
We should interrogate him. We should let's talk some shit about him preemptively. Just like with distance ourselves from it.
That's it.
What eating disorder should we give him?
Yeah, Jacko, his recent videos are pretty funny too. So yeah, you're right. There was one person in the vegan movement that kind of had a good sense of humor. Now I think he's way funnier now that he makes fun of the vegans. So it's just personal preference, right? Let's hear some more of this one. We're almost done with this video. We'll skip forward too, and then we've got another one, and then we'll wrap up.
Experiencing weird symptoms on a vegan diet, who really knows? The end point here is that when it comes to health and diet, a lot of these ex-vegans have a history of consuming nutrient restrictive versions of a vegan diet, experiencing negative symptoms, blaming the negative symptoms on veganism, and then go back to paying for animals to be murdered. The other thing is just how prone and susceptible to the placebo effect these ex-vegans can be in relation to animal products magically solving their problems, given just how health conscious and focused they are on how they feel.
Yeah, more placebo. Let's jump forward.
So scared.
Here we go.
Pointing out, but an influence and the pattern in which they did it, and also the way in which it's have in common when it
are on how they feel.
Okay, so this is my favorite one. The frequency that they talk about animal rights.
So now that we've discussed what these past ex-vegans have in common when it comes to their excessive health consciousness and diet, let's now talk about their past history of mentioning animal rights and the frequency in which they did it, and the pattern in which they did it, and also the way in which they did it. So if there's one thing that we all notice, especially in hindsight about all these ex-vegans, is how little they mentioned animal rights when they were identifying as ethical vegans. Now let me just...
So apparently there's like a frequency that you have to talk about certain things. It's kind of like making music or like a composition, right? So you have to you got to hit it on those little eighth notes. You have to talk about animal rights right at the right time. And then if you do that, you were really vegan. But if you don't, I guess you're maybe at risk of being never really vegan.
I got to admit, I'm part of that red flag because I didn't bring up animal rights much. Unless someone specifically asked me questions, I wouldn't bring it up. So if I could ditch myself from the ex-vegan label and just be like normal and an omnivore forever, I'm happy to do that.
No, you can. You just accept what they say, that you were never really vegan, and you're good.
I'm so fine with just, having been trans vegan. I was born in an omnivore's body.
Are you making fun of me now? Are you just trying to make fun of me? Because you're just trying to make fun of, you come here to make fun of trans people because I'm trans vegan?
But I felt like a vegan on the inside, but I was trapped in an omnivorous body. It didn't work for me. And I just, I'm over it. I detransitioned. And so I've left that behind now.
There you go. So with that. Plant-based poser crew. We're the plant-based poser trans vegan crew. I think trans veganism is a really good refuge for ex-vegans, right? Trans vegan. You were never really vegan. Okay, cool. I was trans vegan. And if they say that you were never really vegan while you're trans vegan, that's an international hate crime, right? Because I'm in Ecuador and they're all in fucking Australia or the UK for some reason. All you guys are in Australia and the UK. International hate crime. I'm going to tell the UN, Interpol's going to swoop you up right now. So
I would say as well, my channel is absolutely loaded with slaughterhouse videos. So what's my excuse?
Well, the way, we'll get to the next part, I guess. Maybe it's the way that you say it, right? Because if you say it in a certain way, there may be red flags. So the next part, maybe he'll clear this up for us. Let's go a little bit more. And then we've got this Freely clip that we got to watch if there's time. I know it might be getting late for you guys. I can hang out a little bit and hit the Freely clip. But here we go.
Say, I'm not implying here that if you are an ethical vegan who is also an influencer, but an influencer for other things such as health, that if you don't mention animal rights frequently, that you're destined to become an ex-vegan. That is not what I'm saying at all.
All right, let's slow it down, dude. We have to do like 0.25 speed for you.
Is how little they mentioned animal rights when they were identifying as ethical vegans. Now let me just say, I'm not implying here that if you are an ethical vegan who is also an influencer, but an influencer for other things such as health, that if you don't mention animal rights frequently, that you're destined to become an ex-vegan.
It's just totally hypocritical. He said the exact opposite things in traits 1 and 2.
It's not even, to me, I can't stand, I get why people do it, but I think I'm just so against political correctness at this point. I've had enough with it. When people pander like, oh no, I'm not saying this, I don't mean this, and I want to, it really just say what you mean and stop being such a pussy.
Spot on.
I like how he says it so quickly too. Why does he talk so fast? I think you're right, Tommy. He does talk very quickly. Let's see. I'm gonna back that up, and I just want to hear it one more time because he's got.
They did it. So if there's one thing that we all notice, especially in hindsight about all these ex-vegans, is how little they mentioned animal rights when they were identifying as ethical.
Look at that thing with like he has to move and bob with every syllable.
Dr. Gregor syndrome.
Yeah, he's got like a mini treadmill. He's standing on two little tiny treadmills. You remember the finger boards that kids used to bring to school? The vegans now, they have finger treadmills. They just carry him around. So he's got those under his feet, and he's just tapping them to make himself feel good. It's a comforting motion.
Vegans. Now let me just say, I'm not implying here that if you are an ethical vegan who is also an influencer, but an influencer for other things such as health, that if you don't mention animal rights frequently, that you're destined to become an ex-vegan. That is not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying is that this trait of not mentioning animal rights is something that is very common amongst all these ex-vegans. I think that this is something worth pointing out, and if you go back and look at these channels when they were identifying as ethical vegans, a lot of their content was predominantly based in health. Now I do know that there was past footage of Maddie Limburner and John Venus going to vigils.
So what people are doing is trying to give the pigs water because they've been commuting for hours and hours and they're all dehydrated and hungry and tired and
these vigils trigger me. I get real triggered when I see these vigils because these pigs are about to get water. If these people wouldn't stop the dang truck, these pigs could get off and they could all get water. Now they're going to scramble to get to the door and run over each other and fall on the ground. And it's just, what a mess. And who knows what these bottles are contaminated with. You could be, but they're about to get slaughtered anyways. So, yeah, this slaughterhouse stuff. So and John Venus, what is he trying to say? Is he trying to say like Venus wasn't crying? Like he didn't break down and fucking weep on the ground, so he wasn't compassionate enough? Like what is this footage even saying, dude?
I would say as well that the footage is actually heartbreaking, but at the same time they seem to negate the situation that everybody's against factory farming, and that is what that is.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if one thing that came out of me being always an omnivore, I learned how animals are treated. At least I'm a welfarist now. I go to small local farms, etc. Like I'm very, very careful about that now. And I don't buy stuff from the supermarket. I don't care for supermarket meat anymore. But yeah, like I've heard so many people on my comment section, I don't know how much of it's true, but as Tristan said, they get watered, they're about to be watered. But here they come in and they spook the animals, and then they give them potentially contaminants. And then apparently the animals start peeing on each other because they're kind of dehydrated so that they don't pee and there's not as much mess going on. And then it makes them need the toilet. That's what I've heard. I don't know how much of that's true, but
that's absolutely true. I actually spoke about that the last time I was on Tristan's stream, because what they do is obviously you see the trucks coming up, and then when people go and start flashing their cameras and giving them water, the trucks are shaking all over the place. And the slaughterhouse actually say that you should actually definitely not give them water because they're already going to get water when they go in anyway. All you're doing is making them more upset before they go in there, and it's causing a big situation. You're doing the animals an actual injustice, really, because they're scared of you shoving your face in and your camera in and things like that.
Yeah, there you go. For the animals.
Where'd that video go? There. No. Hold on.
and that's it. Okay, so there's just like one truck after the other pulling up, just packed with pigs. It's like relentless, nonstop. Here comes the, I don't know, 100th truck of the day.
But actually being there and seeing the amount of trucks and the amount of pigs that are just starving, so scared, like so scared, they're screaming.
Of these they talk about animal rights, it's pretty consistent amongst all of these ex-vegans. So although Maddie Limburner and John Venus have content related to animal rights and going to vigils, if you go to their actual pages, the majority of what they posted was nothing to do with animal rights. And again, I'm not implying that if you do not mention animal rights as frequently as say me and animal rights.
Dude, you repeat yourself so much. Oh, and again, I'm not really saying anything. I'm just kind of implying something. Again, I'm not going to say it, but I'm just going to, what a wishy-washy pussy. Dude, you're a coward. Just say what you mean. You what is your problem? This guy is obnoxious to me. I'm sorry.
I like that veganism has to be your entire existence. You're not allowed to have a life outside it, right? Like, say what you will about Jenna Marbles, like another big YouTuber, but she has a life outside of her veganism.
She's a vegan?
Like,
I don't remember that.
See what I mean? She went vegan years ago, and a lot of people saying she's not doing well.
She's not really vegan. She's never really vegan. She's not obnoxious.
You know, at the moment she's really vegan, but she might never really be vegan in the future. Though I think she did like that weird ramen challenge where they like fill cracks with ramen and sand it down something, and she used chicken ramen, so everyone went crazy at her. But she apparently eats vegan, and yeah, she has a whole life outside veganism. She doesn't need to talk about vegan stuff all the time. So like there's more to her life. Not everyone just makes vegan videos all the time. And you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, lately I've had like 10 talking about veganism streams in a row. So I guess I've fallen into that.
I'm trying to get my channel out, but
I love this. The niche is so fascinating to me. It's like, I don't know. It's a small portion of the internet. It's a very small portion of humanity.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting litmus test kind of for just how gullible people are. And I don't know, it's something that's dear to me too, because I've known so many children who've suffered from this crap. Like I've seen so many kids get their health wrecked. I've seen so many kids with rotten freaking teeth. I've still got friends. I got a couple friends here, and their son has had terrible dental issues. And he's still so brainwashed. They're not vegan anymore. The parents aren't. The mother is like still afraid to eat meat, and she'll eat like some soups, and she'll have some chicken like every once in a while, some fish every once in a while. But she's suffering, right? She's nutritionally deficient still, kind of going half mad from the veganism. Just had another baby. Like it's just, and I see their son, who I think he's like 5 now, or 4 or 5. He might be 5.5, maybe 6. But he won't eat meat because he's so brainwashed from the time he was conceived. But from the time he was conceived, his mother and father were vegan. His father left veganism when he was like 5, and he was programmed with, we don't eat animals, that's bad, that's nasty, it's bad karma. Like they taught him all this new age stuff about, oh, it's bad energy, and we just don't do that, those are our friends. And he won't eat meat now, and his health is affected by it profoundly, and his parents have to deal with this. And they don't, I don't know. It's just, it's a shitty situation. I see it happen over and over and over again with kids getting really, really screwed over by this stuff. So it pisses me off. And I don't know, seeing these vegans cope like this, and seeing them systematically find ways to torture people into staying in their little torture chamber is very, I don't know. I appreciate the work you guys do to pull people out of this. I know it gets tedious, and you guys have both been attacked like crazy. And it's sometimes, it might even seem like it's so insignificant. Sometimes this little group of people seems so insignificant to some of the greater picture stuff that's going on in the world. But they actually do play a really crucial part in what we see happening right now with the takeover of our food supply, with these highly organized, highly funded, very well funded and well trained activist networks that are run by NGOs, big corporations, big banking interests, intelligence agencies. We see them becoming more and more prominent. We saw that guy, that terrorist in Ukraine, went on the bus with a gun and said, you all got to watch Earthlings, or I'm going to blow this thing up. You see them getting emboldened. You see them pushing harder and harder to ban animal agriculture, to reduce us to smart city apartment living, day to day, begging for our social credit score kibble, and paying for our Beyond Burgers with OnlyFans, cryptocurrency. Like this is the future that is being engineered for us, and part of that future is a dehumanizing diet that's gonna make us sickly, subservient, and essentially medical slave lab rats. And that's where this is going. So this is why I speak up about it. This is why I appreciate channels like you guys, and the personal aspect of it, of helping people recover from eating disorders is it's really admirable. And I got a hat off to, I don't have a hat because it would affect my baldness. But hats off to you guys for standing up to this stuff and for speaking out about it. I know we'll probably have different reasons for talking about it, but I appreciate you guys doing the work you do about this stuff.
Sorry, Tommy, you go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, toxic masculinity, Tommy. Just talk over her, dude. Just talk over her. because she's a woman, and because you're a man, and because you have to be the big man, the big daddy. You want to be the big man and the big daddy.
Skye, when you go first.
Okay, well, everyone knows it's usually the chicks that are a bit gobby and we're the ones that interrupt a lot. So. No, I was just going to say the whole reason for my channel is the whole like, you were never vegan and we're going to like talk shit because we don't know your medical results and stuff. It was just comedy for me. I just wanted to laugh my way through all that. And now I've got people who are laughing their way through their recovery and stuff. So mine isn't quite as deep as your reason, Tristan. I just wanted a comic outlet. And I think other people have kind of latched onto that and are laughing as well. So
well, I think that's why I like your channel too, because well, there's not very many funny women in the world. So it's like chicks just don't tend to be that funny. I mean, no offense, ladies.
I mean, Amy Schumer's amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on. How do you kick someone out from a Zoom meeting? No, but you know, that's why we do appreciate you, because part of what we do here too is like I'm always trying to have a laugh and lighten things up, and I think the comedic aspect is it's an important tool. So yeah, I love it. So I think we're done with this video though. I don't think there's anything else coming from him. Do you guys have a few more minutes? There's this one more video that Skye, I've got a time-stamped video that Skye sent me that someone sent her, and she said she hadn't even watched it yet either.
Yeah. Tommy, did I interrupt? Did you want to say something? Or?
Oh, what I was going to say was the reason for my channel is I feel it would have been very wrong of me to do what the vegans said and just walk away and leave my channel and not say anything, because I was pushing the vegan message massively in Scotland with the Save movement and Anonymous for the Voiceless. I believed it was the best thing for everybody. Now I believe that there's no set diet for anybody. I feel that everybody's different and you've got to do what's individually best for you. And that's why I do what my channel's about, because I feel I need to make people aware of the pitfalls and things as well. So,
yeah.
Admirable reason.
Good point. Yeah.
There we go. Sorry, I got distracted, Tommy. Didn't even let you get your point in.
That's that toxic masculinity from the big daddy.
Excuse me? You just accused me of toxic masculinity? I'm here helping you. I'm here helping you recover from your toxic masculinity.
You were gaslighting me, Tristan. Come on.
Exactly, dude. I'm the one who's gaslighting here. Don't you try and turn this gaslighting onto me, dude. Freaking ridiculous. All right, we got Freely here, and I haven't seen a Freely video in a long time. She's got a new channel, The Frugivore. I think maybe I don't know. I've thought about doing this before, because once your channel gets locked in the algorithm, you're done. Like it doesn't grow. So it seems like she's able to get views on this channel. She got 61K. Oh, that's a long time ago for this video, back from July. So this is a video called TikTok's Brittany Lancaster calls me out and her fans attack.
I'm not having any difficulty.
Oh, Hench is here.
Again, I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you.
Thank you, Hench. Hench just reminding us all that he's bigger and stronger than us. Gertej Rana sent a super chat. Says, persons in Germany applauding the introduction of universal basic income while not knowing what they consent to. Nothing new under the sun. Yeah, the UBI stuff is crazy. People don't understand that there's no, it's just free. We're going to get free money. Silicon Valley just wants to pay us to make OnlyFans videos and consume content. It's amazing. We're going to get crypto. Yeah, but I don't know. Thank you, Hench, for interrupting with your toxic masculinity. You made Tommy look less toxically masculine, at least. You made him look a little better after that fiasco earlier when Tommy assaulted Skye. All right. So there's some people that might be watching and they think I'm serious, which makes me think it's more funny, but then it's isolating to them. So those of you who are watching, sometimes I'm facetious and I don't laugh at the end of it and I just move on. So it's okay. It's okay. If you think I might be joking, assume I'm joking. How about that?
Because now they're
Let me come over here, change the audio.
being removed. This is a little bit strange. So whether it's Jacqueline, whether it's Brittany spamming me with fake dislikes, I don't know. But like, okay, so let's get into it, shall we? Brittany Lancaster is 22 years old. Okay, she's 22 years old and she claims to have recovered from 2 serious EDs. Okay, she says here, recovering from 2...
She claims. Wow. I mean, already we're not even 10 seconds in to the timestamp thing. And she claims she claims that she's recovered. She claims. And what a snake. What an evil woman already. Come on, Freely. You can't go 10 seconds without being an evil cunt.
let's just remind you that she's the one that says she's cured eating disorders, and she invited Eugenia Cooney, who's an eating disorder YouTuber, to come stay with her and recover with her. So it's not just a random person, it is someone who claims to be helpful with this kind of topic.
Thank you for being on your yoga ball again, Freely. I hope you're she's activating your kundalini on that yoga ball. Rubbing her
She seems to have a
kundalini.
compulsive movement problem. She's constantly moving her hands and things. That's usually the sign that you've still got some kind of eating disorder, when you compulsively move.
Yeah, I was thinking the yoga ball. I don't want to diagnose her, because that's not. Some of us don't diagnose others based on a YouTube video, Freely. But yeah, she's.
I diagnose Freely as a stupid ass bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, Freely. You're an empowered woman. All right, we'll keep going on this.
And losing 30 pounds the healthy way over 3 years through intuitive eating. A lot of people are intuitively eating and they're obese. So she says here, so my bank account was drowning, lol, but I overcame Anna and BED and found balance. Okay, this is what she claims that has happened. Okay, and I find it strange because in her videos, she always starts a video with in recovery. I'm in recovery. She says over and over again every time.
Good morning, it's a what eating a day in recovery from an eating disorder.
But here she clearly says I overcame. So she overcame it like years ago, but she's still saying in recovery, which is really odd to me. I find it quite strange. And unless it's her brand, you know, and she's got to keep up with the brand, you know, she's got to keep saying that to keep reinforcing.
What a complete moron, because no one relapses an eating disorder.
No.
That's not common.
Yeah.
So weird to me, because I fix so many people with eating disorders. It's so weird to know what's normal in the eating disorder world. Like, really?
Yeah, she's an expert. I mean, she is the expert, right? The expert on health, eating disorder, ethics, the bioethicist, Freely. Bioethicist and back alley reproductive health services provider, Freely the Banana Girl here. She's gonna tell us all. She did why is this 27 minutes long, this video? Why is it so long?
I don't know.
We're not watching this whole thing, Freely.
I gotta say, there's like one of my wannabe doctors in the thing claiming I had a relapse. So is he talking to Tommy? I don't know who he's talking to.
Oh, this is somebody's in here saying you relapsed yourself.
Yeah. I'm so glad there's a psychologist who also equally understands eating disorders like Freely.
There's this other person that's been spamming the chat for like the last hour. Like for a while, every other comment was his, and I put him on timeout, and he's back though.
I think they have like 1 million profiles because they have all day to create more. Do you think that was at you, Tommy, then?
Probably.
I don't know. Yeah, might have been.
Oh,
look, Tommy did something that's normal for recovery. Oh, look at that.
Terrible.
Idiots.
This guy, it's funny to see these people coping live in the chat, too. Like this guy, that's the most ridiculous thing I've heard. When I'm vegan, I can lift shit tons of weight, recover in no time, and never get injured. That is the most incorrect thing you could say. So he's just... And everything that somebody says, he feels like he needs to refute it. I let him go for a while, then I just threw him on timeout. These people simply want to eat animal products again. They want to be regarded as normal and be on the same page with others psychologically. Oh, then he corrected it. So yeah, they just want to be on the same page with others psychologically. Yeah, that's part of it. They want to not be fucked up in their head. So that's why they stop being vegan. They're sick of people like you. They don't want to be around people like you, Monos VR. They don't want to be associated with you. He says, of course you're going to feel better if you wanted to eat fish and you finally eat fish. So you admit right there that you're going to feel better as soon as you eat fish because you know you want to. Monos VR. All right, let's go back to Freely. Dr. Freely. Dr. Freely, the expert.
The brand. So here, you can overcome anything. So she says here, suffering from Anna for 2 years. Okay, so look here.
Okay, so suffering? Is it really suffering? Hey, I'm not suffering. I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you.
Here. All right, so Anna is a mental illness, yes. But one of the criterions is your body weight. So the following criteria must be met. Restriction of energy intake relative to requirements leading to a significantly low body weight in the context of age, sex, development, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And also abnormally low body weight. Abnormally low body weight. So here, she does not have an abnormally low body weight. She does not have that. She actually has like a good amount of flesh on her here. And like this is one of the criteria. You can't just say, oh, it's mental and everything. This is one of the criteria. She clearly is not Anna here. Okay, so this is something that you just need to take notice of, okay? You know, people can think they are, maybe, but they have to realize that no, she's just restricting her calories, okay? She's restricting calories, she's dieting, all right? You know, we can't diminish.
Yeah, so like one of the biggest, I'm sure Tommy will agree, one of the biggest complaints we get is people come in saying, I don't think I count. Like, I don't think I count as having an eating disorder. I see people so much worse than me. And it's because of morons like this putting it into your head. Oh no, you have to be dangerously skinny. You have to be on death's door to get help. It's because of this bullshit.
Exactly. And she's...
All right, now we're almost back, but let's wait for the stream will be back. Okay.
Okay.
And we assume they didn't catch any of that, and just start over, please.
Okay,
Sorry about
I'll
that.
start again.
We're good now.
Okay. So I was just saying before the little pause, one of the biggest complaints I get, one of the biggest fears I get when people come forward for help is they feel that they're not as bad compared to other people with eating disorders. They feel that like, oh, I think I might have anorexia or anything else, but I don't want to come forward for help yet because people are so much worse than me. I don't deserve that help. I don't count compared to other people. And it's kind of morons like this. They're like, well, let's pull your body up and let's scrutinize every part of your body and be like, yeah, you got fat on you. Yeah, you're not skinny.
Well, she's calling someone who said she's anorexic. She's saying, "Oh, you were never skinny enough. You were never skinny enough. You were fat." Yeah. This is demonic. This chick is like next level.
That's the problem. She's got a real... Sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Go ahead again, Tommy. Whatever, dude. Freaking toxic masculinity, Tommy. Go ahead. No, I'm just kidding.
She's got a severe lack of understanding of eating disorders because you've got a new nutritional rehability, as in your weight, your body mass index. Then you've got a new rewire your thought patterns in your brain, so you can be really, really ill at any body weight. It's not really about the body weight; it's about the thoughts in your head. It's a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've not been convinced yet that Freddie knows what an eating disorder is, let alone that she can cure them and fix them for people. Yeah, I kind of think less of her skills at this point.
Cool. All right. So the Monos VR says he's not a vegan. He's not a vegan, you guys. So sorry, Monos VR, you're not a vegan. We get it. You're okay. But you're still like the most prominent name in the chat, and you have kind of incoherent responses. So you just get to be. Let's go.
I don't know about you guys, but I always get these "I'm not vegan," however, and it's like NPC copy paste of vegan stuff.
Yeah,
like the number one thing I get.
Yeah, it's like you might not be vegan, dude, but you still have vegan tendencies. You know what I'm saying? It's like you might have left the vegan movement, but the vegan movement hasn't really left you because you're acting like a damn vegan in the chat. You're being obnoxious. So you could just. Here, we'll just hide you. You can go on a permanent timeout right now because I've seen your name too much. Let Monos speak. Now. Let Monos. I love.
You can go and soak up some of Dr. Gregor's vitamin D.
Because you go ask for some of that golden glow vitamin D from Dr. Gregor. Dr. G's vitamin D. That's going to be Dr. Gregor's OnlyFans. Is Dr. G's vitamin D. All right.
I gotta just start up to vegans who are getting defensive because we're insulting one of their older empresses. Like, just take away the whole vegan thing. Pretend this girl who's recovering is vegan and she's just insulting her body. Like, you guys should be with us on this. You guys are all like so politically correct, apart from when it comes to picking apart.
Right, drop the veganism and just look at the eating disorder issue that we're seeing here. Freely picking this. Does this have anything to do with veganism, or is it just about eating disorder? The video.
Like, I have no doubt, because I've seen this before, at some point this girl's going to have an animal product and Freely's going to look at her disgust and talk about how her body's being trashed. I have no doubt she's going to do that because she does that a lot. But yeah, it's usually not a vegan thing, but she has trashed vegans. Like I've seen her call fully raw Christina not slim enough and say she's getting chunky and stuff. And no one thinks fully raw Christina is anything but skinny. You know, she's very slim. So for God's sake, really.
Yeah, bearing in mind that they used to say at the RoTo4 that they could cure anorexia through RoTo4 diet, and they was talking about during where they used to say things like eating 10,000 calories a day for people that was really underweight, which is actually the most dangerous thing that you could actually do, because your body can get into re-feeding syndrome and it can cause you to have a heart attack and things like that. It's absolutely insane. It's the worst protocol you could actually advise somebody.
Wow.
It's not great.
If somebody needs to compile a list of just terrible advice that Durian and Freely have given over the years, I mean, you could publish a book of, I guess you could title it like a Dr. Greger book too, just how not to be. How not to be. You have a compilation of shit that Durian, Ryder, and Freely have told people to do. How not to live. Durian, Ryder, and Freely.
Basically.
We'll hear a little bit more here. Yeah, and she's going hard. Like Freely she's very blatantly deceptive.
How serious Anna is, okay? By just everybody being Anna because they go dieting. No, okay? That's just not how it works. So she says, okay, so suffering from, and okay, let's move it on. Okay.
Okay.
All right, then suffering from BED for 2 years. So obviously she gained a whole bunch of weight here because she was restricting. So she's restricting at first, she's dieting, not Anna. Okay, let's not diminish the seriousness of Anna. She's dieting and restricting like many, and then she binged out. Okay, that's what happens. The brain is like, hey, we're gonna be in another famine. We need to get calories. Well, the calories are coming in, we need to store it for a future famine. Okay, because you starved me before, so I need to have extra stores that I can draw on to nourish myself if there's no food. That's what happens. Okay.
Is she describing right now, it kind of almost sounds, it seems to me like she's describing when somebody leaves veganism, when they've been starving themselves, and then they just want to eat a bunch of steaks for a while. They're like, man, I can't have a meal without a steak or some eggs or some fish or some butter with it.
I also gotta add, doing this does not make you woke with the eating disorders freely. Like, this is not how, like, this
They're
jazz hands
plant-based
bullshit.
Plant-based posers. She's so erratic. She's so manic.
I think the only bit she got right there was about the body storing onto calories and things like that, because that's what they call the migration effect. It's like getting back to when we were like hunter-gatherers and things like that. If your body's in a famine, it tends to store onto calories, but that's a necessity to keep you alive. That's not a bad thing, and she's trying to shame that girl for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we go through periods of restriction of calories. I mean, just throughout the year, if you're producing your own food, you live in an area where most food's produced locally, you're going to have a little famine every once in a while, and you're going to have times when you have more food available. But yeah, she's got to pathologize everything, right? And I love how Dr. Empress Freely has just diagnosed her as she's not anorexic, because Freely knows. Dr. Freely here, she's got the answer. She's got the diagnosis. It's not anorexia. Definitely not.
There's actually now laws in place in Britain, like for when GPs, because GPs have done this in the past, where if you're not like very dangerously low criteria to be immediately admitted, they're like, oh no, you're kind of not really skinny enough for this. And that there are laws now to protect people from that. And you can actually file official complaints and stuff. So, you know, I'm so glad she's not employed by some kind of governing body for this. I'm glad she's kind of self-employed, but I really hope that she's not getting eating disorder clients come to her. And I
doubt she is. I really doubt she is.
Good. I hope
there's a lot of people on the internet though, right? There's so many people on the internet.
Yeah, there are. You never know. But I think I really, really hope whoever this video is about, she doesn't see this, because this video is not good for her mental health.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this goes so well with the beginning of the stream, when it got really heavy right off the bat, when Tommy was telling us about the actions of some of the vegans just in the comments, like the seemingly almost coordinated action, which might not be coordinated. It might just be that they're like, you know, they're all on the same wavelength. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't have to be coordinated. They repeat the same things. They're in the same echo chamber, and they just end up blah, 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 the same shit. Or it could be, you know, there could be a little nest of these idiots in a Discord server somewhere plotting and planning how to try and trigger the ex-vegans and make them whatever relapse into an eating disorder.
I do think of them like that though. I think it's like a little cockroach nest or something, or like support. I really just think they come in and they convene, because the way I've seen them, they come out in whole groups at the same time, saying the same stuff. They all raid at the same time. So it's a bit sad. I feel a bit bad for them, to be honest. Like, I don't know. There's better things to do with your Sunday, but whatever. No, apparently not.
Nope. You just got to harass the ex-vegans. You got to cope. We got hard copes. All right. You guys want a little bit more freely? Maybe one more clip, and then we can wrap it up here. What time is it over there? It's like 11 or 12?
Yeah, it's 11.
11.
Shoot, I'll get you guys to bed soon. I know it's getting late. I'd be asleep if it was 11 here. I'd be almost asleep.
Okay, you need to understand that. So you can see that there is a bit of an issue here with these EDs that she claims to have had, okay? Basically, eating animals and secretions is an ED in itself. And yes, the whole society is suffering from ED. So that's something I noticed to begin with. She didn't have Anna at all, okay? Yes, she had ED, like a lot of us did, okay? In the way of we are not eating our biologically designed diet. We are frugivores, so we should be eating a high fruit, high carbohydrate diet. That's just how it is. That's how our physiology functions best. So when we move away from that, then we get eating issues. It's not rocket science. This is what happens. Okay, and then and she's now being in recovery, even though here she says overcame again.
My childhood.
No, come over here. I think we get the point. She's probably going to make the same point over and over again. Like, these vegans have these 25-minute videos that could easily be 3.5 minutes. I don't get that.
Seriously. I got to say that she just said it's not rocket science, but she proceeds to talk like it's rocket science, and it's going way over her head, which
she's even like putting the pieces of the puzzle together visually for you. Boom, 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 boom.
I think what she was actually doing there, she was kind of trying to simulate eating food. That's what it was, because she's starving.
Frugivores, we're frugivores. Look, you have fingers and you can grab it. Look, evolution gave you fingers. You're clearly a frugivore.
Gertes Urana sends a £5 super chat. It must be over there in the UK with you guys. It's past your bedtime. Go to bed, man. Come on. It says, how many battered Mars bars has Tommy had in his life?
I'm ashamed.
Is that racist? This is racism.
No, that is actually, I think that's a Scottish delicacy, but I'm ashamed to say I've never ever tried one.
Is it because
a bit shocking.
You're a self-hating Scotsman? Is that why? So self-hating Scotsman here has never even tried one. He's rejected his heritage, the beautiful heritage of Scotland and his ancestors.
Everything in Scotland comes with batter. That's a known fact.
Your Scottish Viking ancestors are rolling in their graves right now as you denounce their cultural heritage of fried Mars bars.
I was about to say Manchester did one worse one Easter. They got the Cadbury's cream eggs. I don't know if
those
you
are
get
good.
those.
I like those. Those are nice.
They got those. They deep fried them. They battered and deep fried them, and they served them with chunky chips like French fries to dip into them and eat. That was Manchester. You're nodding. Have you seen this?
Yeah, it could be alright. I could see that being good. I don't know, just frying, I don't know, like frying in vegetable oil and frying with batter, I'm not a fan of, but yeah, there's some things that fried can be great. Gertej Rana sends another one, says, no true Scotsman, Tommy. 5 pounds on that one. No
I've
true
not even
Scotsman.
tried haggis.
In my childhood.
And Greta says you stole her dreams in childhood. We got another, there we go. ZNA Productions, what's up ZNA, with the best super chat of the night. Thank you very much, ZNA. Saving the super chats in the stream with a big fat $20 super chat. Thank you very much, ZNA. Says, I may just be late to the party, but what's with the co-opting of the term plant-based by vegans? Nothing about the phrase implies all plants. seems like a way of conflating positive plant-based research with vegan success. Well said.
Yeah. Also, when they say you're never vegan, you're only plant-based, that's nonsensical because you can be plant-based and eat meat as well. So they have to come up with a new word to describe people who aren't ethically vegan in their mind, but were dietary vegans, right? Plant-based is meaningless.
Yeah, it's a marketing term, right? It's like you can check it out. Today, I've eaten a plant-based diet, right? No, I've eaten a mostly vegetarian diet today. How about that? Mostly vegetarian, because in the morning I had milk and then cheese, and then I had a steak a little bit later. But most of the calories were from the milk and the cheese, which is mostly vegetarian diet. And so, like I could eat most days. It's like I have cheese and milk throughout the day, and then I have a steak at night, and that's my mostly vegetarian diet. So plant-based means nothing. It's like, oh, plant-based, okay. I'll give you, here's my plant-based milk. I don't have any left, but I just drank a bunch of plant-based milk. This is made from nothing but plants from our yard, right? This is made from plants that our cows grazed and turned it into protein, fat, and carbohydrate.
I've always thought as well, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but the way they actually say the definition of veganism being practicable and possible, what's practicable and possible? That's just, there's so many loopholes in that. You can say you're vegan and eat meat because at the end of the day, that's practically impossible for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, by their definition, I'm still vegan because I did what was right according to my doctors and medical results kind of stuff. So
that's nonsensical. Yes. And that it's like there's so many ways that their glass house crumbles. Their whole ideology. How dare you? There we go. How dare you? Thank you. Zyklon Be Still and No God just sent some like hands washing each other with hand sanitizer, and then what looks like two men's butts twerking against each other. No, that's elbows. Dude, that's so funny. All right, so they have, right, because they tell you can't shake hands anymore because we're supposed to be dehumanized walking bioweapons now, and we all need to hide away from each other. So they put an emoji it's in YouTube, and it's an elbow bump, right? Because here, like in Ecuador, everyone was doing this shit for a while. Like you go to like shake someone's hand, and they try to elbow bump you, and you just grab them and hug them, and they're like, I'm melting. No, you don't do that. You don't want to assault them with a hug. So yeah, thanks for that one. But yeah, you're so right, Tommy. The definition of veganism. We talked about that a few times on this channel as well. It's like practicable, possible. Like what kind of legalese is this? Imagine if the government passed a law that said you need to be as vegan as practicable and possible, right? If that was a law, who the hell is going to have the job of interpreting that? I guess these vegans
it's the same as well that the majority of them are moral subjectivists, and at the end of the day, if everything's subjective, then there is no moral right or wrong. So
always, right? You ask them, is morality subjective or objective? They'll say it's subjective. And well, those annoying vegans, they came on and they said their argument was morality is what the greatest majority of people say it is. So if most people agree that, instead of shaking hands, you should rub your butts against each other and then slap each other in the face, and that's how you're going to greet each other, then that's the proper way, and that's right, and that's moral. But then you just turn it on them and you say, hey, well then if most of people agree that we should eat animals, then eating animals must be right. And in their worldview, it would pass. It would make sense. So that was those annoying vegans' argument, which was I couldn't believe that they came with that argument. And then they tried to edit me repeating their argument to them and explaining to them why it doesn't make sense and why it's ridiculous, and say that I was making their argument. I mean, it was like next level. And I think they were genuinely believing it when they edited it too.
I mean, the goalposts move, but also people hear what they want to. But I notice with a lot of the people who do these debate me bro kind of things, their goalposts are constantly shifting. Yeah.
That's the vegan debates. They're only fun if you have like a character, right? Like if you're like, with Vegan Gains, if you can get him with most Vegan Gains debates are unwatchable. But like if it's just the right person corners some of these characters, you get good debates. Like I think those annoying vegans debate. For those of you who haven't seen that on this channel, watch the debate with those annoying vegans. It's a good one. I thought it was hilarious. Oh, hold on. We got the Big Daddy guys talking. Okay, there you go. So we got interrupted by the Big Daddy thing. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tommy. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm saying it's all name the trait and the fact.
Right. What's that sound? All right, ZNA Productions, thanks for the $5 super chat. Says, I can't wait for the Impracticable Burger trademark to come out of McDonald's. The Impracticable Burger. You win the super chat of the night. That's the best one, dude. That was really, really good. Thank you. ZNA Productions, Gertej, Zyklon V, thanks guys, appreciate that. ZNA, and everybody who super chatted today. That is how you keep these streams going. User supported. No support from YouTube, and make sure to subscribe, hit the like, and I forgot to put it in the description, but I'm going to put a link in the description to both Tommy Kelly's and You Did It Wrong's channels, so you guys can check out their work. Aaron, the big black dude, says something really funny that I'm not going to read out loud because I will. It's really gross, but it's funny to me. It's gross but funny. It's just very out of place. So yeah. So what else, guys? I mean, it's been about 3 hours. We should probably wrap it up. Where's all this going? Any last thoughts? Any closing statements from? We'll let Skye go first, and we'll let Tommy finish off.
I think it's funny how we were talking about nothing to do with veganism, just one person insulting recovering anorexic, and then we have someone in chat, presumably at Tommy, because they're talking about relapse, just basically trying to have a go at Tommy for being normal, which normally happens in recovery. So I thought that really proved the point that a lot of these people have this weird hive mentality, and the so-called ethics, they get jumbled somewhere along the way. The ethics, if one of us were to do that, they would see it as unethical. But if they were to talk about eating disorders in such a way, suddenly it's fine and it's for the animals, you know?
Yeah, their ethics are very inconsistent, aren't they? That's
just a tad.
Well said. So, well, what's coming up on your channel? You Did It Wrong. What you got coming on that?
I have a little short meme coming out tomorrow. I did a vegan vlog a little while back. I'm going to be filming another vegan vlog, and I've got quite a few videos in the works. I have 2 half-done videos, but I don't know if they're kind of old news now. One was on cuties, which has just had a revamp on that film. There's more information now the film's out, so I'll be doing that. And there is one on some of the, I think, Extinction Rebellion antics as well coming up. So got a few things in the pipeline.
Yeah, the Extinction Rebellion thing, they're gonna pop off. We need to get people they do Zoom meetings to plan all this stuff out, so it's not that hard to get in there and figure out where they're going with this stuff. So I encourage people in the chat, figure out what's going on over there. Get us some intel from these Animal Rebellion, Extinction Rebellion people, because they're emboldened. They have a lot of money, and what you see happening now in Washington, Oregon, and California with all the arson that's being suppressed through the media, this does tie into that, and it's gonna get crazy out there, guys. So yeah, thanks Skye. You go by Skye on the channel over there. We really appreciate you coming on, and you guys can find her link. I'll put her link in the description for her channel in the description of the video. Tommy Kelly, dude, it's always an honor talking to you, man. I really enjoy you being here, even though like you're looking really intimidating and like a bouncer, got your tattoos, and you assaulted our guest here. No, I'm just kidding, man. Tom, you're always a sport, man. It's like I cannot say enough how much I appreciate your Scottish accent. And I love the Scottish accent. I don't know what it is about Scottish accents. I freaking love them. And just your infectious positivity, and you're so supportive of all these people who are struggling, coming out of veganism, and you're very patient with these, even with the people who attack you. You've been very gracious and patient with them. You're more gracious and patient than I am most of the time, and yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. What's coming up on your channel, and what else we got going on over there?
I'm thinking about rebranding my channel probably in the new year.
OnlyFans?
Going to start. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm not seeing anything yet, but.
Ask your wife's boyfriend, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing that, and quite a lot of different videos coming up. I'll probably have a few reaction videos and things like that. I may do one on the Save movement. I don't know yet. I'm probably thinking about that. But yeah, just got to continue as I am and keep doing a lot of eating disorder videos. I want to do that and kind of try and support people as much as I can, and probably launch my eating disorder recovery coaching as well.
Good, man. Well, I'm glad you guys are out there doing what you're doing, and I appreciate the conversation, appreciate the chat, appreciate the laughs, Appreciate it all, and we'll have to do it again sometime. Sorry for the tech issues, guys. Sometimes we get some slight tech issues. We had a few cutouts there. Must have cut out like 5 times, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe one of these days I can get my internet to work properly. Even though I'm on fiber optic cable and none of my neighbors have the same internet issue that I have, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We won't let the internet situation get the stream down. So Aaron, the big black dude in the chat, what's up? Zyklon, be still, no God. Ian, VL now. Everybody in the chat, thank you for supporting. Thanks for the super chats, guys. Make sure to check out both Tommy Kelly and You Did It Wrong Skye's channel on YouTube. Link in the description below. And more streams to come over here. I'll probably do another stream. Probably Tuesday. I'm thinking Tuesday might be in the evening for the US bound folks. So yeah, I'm thinking either Monday or Tuesday, maybe 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'll announce it before it happens. So thanks for hanging out, guys. And Skye, Tommy, thanks for hanging out as always.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks a lot.
All right. End stream.